Welcome, ghouls and goblins, to a very special Halloween special. I, personally, have been waiting to create my own Horcrux for this evening, and we have other people who look way better than my giant nose, like Jakey and Drew, who look like real people. But, you know, I think me and Alex are rocking it with our pumpkin and giant nose. But hey, I'm just slithering into the Halloween special before this Scotch tape falls off of my nose. Out there it goes. So welcome everybody to the Halloween special. So glad to have you all here. We are going to be doing a Halloween one-shot. Brie and Jakey are unable to join us tonight, but they're here with us in spirit. If Jakey accidentally mutes herself, you'll know that Brie is here. So glad to have you all joining us. Why don't we all go around and explain our costumes where, you know, when you explain something, it makes it less funny. Let's just go ahead and do that right off the bat. Drew, who are you tonight?
I'm a ghost hunter.
From where? You look so familiar.
Phasmophobia or real life Drew, who knows?
Real life Drew on Wednesdays.
Totally not using real equipment.
Jackie, who are you?
Well, if you cannot tell already, well, actually, okay, probably not. But I am Ashrin just, you know, family life. Family, when she still had family and friends.
Of course.
And...
I wanted to say pre being a good person, but, you know, reimagined.
Angsty teenage
Reimagined.
Yeah.
Who are you tonight, Alex? Who are you wearing?
Who am I wearing? Well, his name was Joe. No, so greetings all. I am Jake Skillington, but you can call me Jake of all trades if you'd like. Law is the game, and knowledge is the aim to fame. But remember, children, I am the master of fright, a demon of delight, and I'll scare you right out of your pants. Would anyone like a donut?
Well done. You all get inspos to start off today since they don't carry over, so you might as well get as many inspos and GFYs as you want tonight. I'll be giving them out like candy, like treats, some might say. But I am ready to bake up some Halloween goodies with my Slytherin thing. Okay, this is already not sticking, but that's okay, because I can't wear glasses anyway, and I have things to read tonight. So... I am Voldemort pre-nose up and during his baking wand years and prior to, you know, that 7th Horcrux. That's the one that really gets your nose gone. But yes, everybody, so glad to have you all joining. Everybody is commenting on how killer Jackie looks tonight. So Jackie, you killed it.
Literally.
We'll give you an extra inspo tonight then for rocking the Halloween. So Jackie can start with 2. Never mind, taking that right away, because that was horrifying. Perfect. So we will start with two inspos for Jackie. Everybody else has 1, including me. But let's do some Halloween one-shotting for tonight. We have a couple different characters. Mifflin, is it Yasmara? How do we say your character's name before I get started, Jackie?
Got it, dude.
Yasmara and Sally. Oh shoot, I have Bree's thing on for you.
Bree's here in spirit.
Bree's here in spirit. We had to swap some things around very quickly. So Alex, I will move you around as there is no roll for recap tonight, so you're all lucky. And we will continue with the spooks. Everything has to be kind of last minute thrown together. So this will be very, very fun. But I do have a fun one-shot plan for you all, and I hope that you're ready. First off, before we get started, let me set the scene for the 3 of you, because I've not told the players anything that's going on. I want to go ahead and set for them what's going to be happening here. It is Hallow's End. As per usual, the Hallow Festival that always goes around in several towns throughout the year is filled with drinking and candy. It's Oktoberfest meets Halloween. It's a grand old time for all to be had. The 3 of you are not immune to that, whether it's drunk on actual alcohol or it's just hyped up on too much candy. The 3 of you find yourselves, as drinking buddies, escaped from the local tavern and listening to a bard nearby one of the great hallowed fires. The bard seems to be singing a tale to you all, a tale of mischief, though the bard seems a bit underqualified. why don't we get a description of our three heroes that are sitting around this fire? Mifflin, why don't you describe yourself?
So the first thing you would notice with Mifflin is you don't see Mifflin. You would instead see a large glaive that has it's very fall themed. There's small gourds and little pumpkins that adorn it. And then if you look close enough, you'll see a small little fairy who, really wafts a delicious scent of brownies wherever he goes. Um, Little spiky bits of hair, all decorated with fall leaves and things. And then the wings you would notice are that of a Luna moth.
Ooh. Ismara, can you give us a description of yourself?
Well, okay. I'm this. You just see in the corner, probably in the shadows, is a big minotaur. Oh, I forgot my nose ring. She has a nose ring. She got big horns, and she's just very like opposite of me, cut and muscular. But her demeanor is very like, I'm just stick in the shadows if I. And she probably has some armor that like is showing off her muscles, but just keep it himself. Tapping the foot, when someone's really impatient, and yeah, that's it.
So we have a fairy and a minotaur, correct? And Jake, why don't you describe yourself as we enjoy this Hallows End ragtag group?
So I'm a very lithe, fragile-looking, tall elf, or elvish in features. About 6 foot, but looks or feels taller whenever you look at him. Has a mystical glint to his eye, his dagger, that just makes you want to look again. Very charming. Charming indeed.
Well, our three heroes, as we may call them for the time being, as the three of you have found your drinking partners for the night, whether you came into this town as a group or simply found each other at the bar, fates would have it that you sit before this very fire, listening to a bard, a local bard who sits quite tall, a furbog with long bearded hair and unkempt long mane. He sits with a hat on, a top hat a bit to the side, a guitar that he is stringing and retuning right before your eyes. It sounds awful, and it doesn't sound like he's going into any particular pitch or particular tune, but he's the only one with a seat available as the three of you sit around his rip-roaring fire. You're ready for some song. Whether it's drunk or high on candy, you're ready to hear this bard's tale. As the three of you sit down, there are a few chairs left near this fire. There are other bards in the distance. You can hear the very merry sounds of the festival still going on. You have quite a night ahead of you still, several hours worth of drinking to be had, or much candy to steal from any local children that might be out past the curfew. As you sit up next to the fire, you notice it feels almost cool instead of warm as this furbog tunes his guitar. He says, Come, I'm so excited to have what must be my first Hallows listeners. This is the first time that they've let me outside of the prison walls in some time, and I'm just found, and excuse me here as he's tuning his guitar, I just found this on the side of the road, and I think that I can make quite a ditty out of it if you'll have me here. Please sit. Come. I would be very excited to have you at my fire.
Hi. Before I take a seat, the jail prison you just left. You just left.
Yes, I was stuck inside for so long. My name is Ob Burnham. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, but I'm sorry. What were you doing inside?
Oh, I had killed a man. It was nothing. He deserved it. But I did have to spend the customary 100 years in that prison. But
Don't they all? They all deserve it, honestly.
I think so. It's very nice to find other like-minded people. Have you ever killed a man?
I mean, that's a conversation we can definitely have, but the important thing is to remember that no one intentionally screws up.
Well,
Oh, would you just play something?
actually, I've been writing this one for the past 100 years. It was about a time when I was a boy here in the village. Would you care to hear?
Yeah,
I-
play
I go
it.
back. I go back to the shadows, kind of just pull back. A little
May
bit.
I accompany you? And I pull out a pan flute.
Please. You might not know the words, I'll handle them, but you can play right along. What's your favorite key?
A skeleton key.
Good. I don't think I have one of them on my guitar, but I don't know any other keys anyway, so we'll figure it out along the way, I think.
Let's do it.
Perfect. Well, let me read you my tale. As he pulls out a small piece of parchment and sets it on a stool nearby. His tattered robes indicate his prison sentence that was recently given back, or recently gave him his life back. You can tell he's not lying about having spent some time behind bars and out of regular society. As he sets the parchment down, he starts playing a tune, and you follow along in your flute, correct?
Pan flute, yes.
As he plays, he doesn't really find any sort of strum. At a certain point, actually, he lets it go and just lets you play. He says, I need none of that. It's the words that are important. There once was a mayor of this town who built his house on sacred ground, until one day there came a woman in a red velvet gown. When she walked into town, it felt like the whole sky had gone brown. The mayor's mood had changed when she came around. It was all he could do but wait and count down the days until she would climb down from the heavens, or so he put it, into his hometown. Though when she would come down onto our hallowed ground, it would leave everyone with such a frown. For you see, she had a laugh like a wicked clown, a stare from which you couldn't back down, like a fire, her eyes in that red nightgown. We all knew what had to go down. The villagers had enough. They decided that he would go down. They would rip off his selfish crown and cut the very head from the witch before they all drown in selfish lust and from her evil renown. It was time for one final showdown. The villagers lit up and torches burned down. The very manor that can now be found, appearing once in a hallowed moon in our rundown town. So you best watch your step before you lie down for a final dirt nap, of which the witch hath prepared. So do not be scared. Have a drink and sit down. For as long as you stay indoors and keep your head down, you need not fear the wicked witch and the mayor of Yorktown. Thank you. Thank you. He nods thanks and appreciation, though you may or may not even give it. He says it before the song seems to really even be done. But the words kind of strike you as odd, and the best you can describe this man as is a hack. He does not deserve to be playing music here. If anything, you want to give applause to your friend Jake. That was a fantastic tune, though his words seemed sad and full of myth and legend, and not grounded in reality at all.
Did you say a hack, you say?
Well, I said a lot of things. What things do you think that I said?
I may have to give you a nickname, Ob. Maybe Axe.
Axe will work for me. I thank you. There was that pot. As I need everybody to roll me a perception check.
Perception.
Alex hasn't got his dice, always.
Uh-oh.
With my
Not like
plus
everything's very
0.
far away in this
That's
hotel
an
room
8.
anyway.
That's an 8 to Mifflin. Solid change from your cleric character.
Mm-hmm.
Yasmara,
18.
18.
What were we rolling again?
Perception.
Perception, that's 20.
Okay. As Mifflin, you are so tiny, the sounds of the fire nearby drown out pretty much everything else, and the loud, obnoxious music that Ob Burnham played just rings in your ears, and you can't help but think over the lyrics that he said, the legend of the witch and the mayor of Yorktown that once lived here. Doesn't make much sense, but Yasmara and Jake, as Ob continues to speak, you can't help notice, but take notice, that all of the other sounds and festivities here seem to have died down. The red light of the fire seems to almost fade away, as there are no others here in town besides the lot of you. You might have sat here listening for some hours, Jake. You don't feel that your fingers hurt from that duration of playing, but there is nobody else out here in this town. A small fog seems to roll out through the tables and the benches that they've set out through this festival, but not a lantern can be found, as the moonlight is the only thing illuminating the fog of which you sit. Well,
That definitely didn't attract any crowds, did it, Hob?
ah, you're right. I've played for far too long. Perhaps everybody's gone to bed, but mind you, that song rings from truth. We should get indoors. It is far too late. I am going to go back. I will find my own way, but I hope that you all find your own way. Get back to whatever inn you came drinking from. Sleep soundly and lock the doors tonight.
Well, how am I supposed to get more candy? I can't get the candy. There's no people.
Just
Jake pulls into one of his pouches and pulls out a few small candies, maybe donut-esque, and hands them over.
For you, they're small. For Mifflin, it's like a mite on a peppermint. It's just like...
It very much looks like an inner tube in which Mifflin squeezes inside briefly and starts eating the donut from the inside of the ring out. As you notice behind you, all of the lights of the streets are gone, but the road that you took here in Yorktown seems to be completely different now than what it looked before. You remembered walking on the edge of the dock. You were here on a dock before. You came all the way from the outside of the town to the dock to find the suites, to listen to the bards play, and then you were going to return back and go home. But the wooden dock seems to have given way, and as you turn around, there seems to be a stone path with trimmed hedges upon the sides that leads off into the fog. You don't remember walking across a stone path to get here. You definitely remember the sound of wood beneath your feet.
Do you guys remember this path?
No, I don't remember drinking this much either. I thought I'd remember everything.
No, British business donut is delicious, and I don't want to go. No, sir. Not today, not now. No, I'm just gonna eat this donut.
Eat away, my friend. Eat away.
As you sit there, Ob seems to be packing his guitar up in a makeshift guitar case, though you would more call it burlap, as he wraps it around half-heartedly, hearing the strings rubbing along the rough burlap surface. This is no way to take care of a guitar by any means. As Ob stands up and says, "Well," tips his hat, "a fine evening to you all. I have much candy and drink to be had. I hope that you have a happy Hallows End," as he tips his hat to you and bows.
Hallows to you too.
Bye.
He walks off into the fog, further into the side that you can see is still a dock. You recognize that you were once near the edge. He must be walking off of the dock at this point, though you hear no splash as he continues walking.
Impressive.
That guy was a little weird, right?
I mean, aren't we all a little weird?
Yeah, but like more weird than usual.
What is usual?
I don't know anymore. Okay, maybe we should get going inside, right? I mean,
This path looks like fun.
Mifflin. I'm imagining Mifflin's like just on one of my buff shoulders, just like sitting and eating.
To give a description for Mifflin a little bit better, imagine a spiritual weapon with a small entity attached to it. Every now and again, you'll see the glaive like move forward by
As
itself.
Mifflin puts the donut down, picks up their near 10-foot long glaive. As they are quite strong for a fairy, it almost seems to float on its own. If you didn't know to look for the trail of pixie dust behind it, you wouldn't know that Mifflin was there at all. You might think this was some conjuration of Jake or Ismara. As you all do stand up, and Mifflin impales the rest of the donut on the bottom end of the glaive and continues eating it while walking. Easiest way to travel, of course. You stand up. Where are you headed? There seem to only be two directions, into the fog, further into the dock, or this new stone-laid path from which you came.
I mean, okay, Jake, the path does look a little interesting.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can go that way if you want.
What are we doing?
I'm going to skip down the path.
As
As we're walking, I'm imagining the glaive is like hopping and then stopping and then hopping and stopping. So I follow the pace. I'm like, okay, okay, okay.
Perfect. Also, Jackie, do like an inch move of the microphone just briefly. Yeah, there we go. So as you begin walking down this path, the wood beneath your feet seems to almost fade into stone as you travel. The hedges nearby feel more and more ethereal before finally fading and giving way to real brush. As you walk by, the end of your glaive scrapes one of the nearby hedges, and you can hear the sound of the leaves. You definitely are not in some sort of illusion. This is real as you walk through here. As you look
Interesting
further...
reaction.
Go ahead.
Let's keep going.
Okay, yeah. As you continue to walk through here, there are lights that appear like eyes further in the fog. Green, two of them, upwards about 20 feet up from your current location. Looking up, they seem to almost sway like fires, but they glow brightly further down the path. As you walk a little bit more forward, there seems to be a near fork in the road. There's a path that leads to the left, one that leads to the right, and one that leads straight towards the green lights in the distance.
Interesting.
Candy!
I feel like the more candy you eat, the harder you are to understand, and I'm like really trying to understand you, and I can't.
You got any candy? Is that better for you?
I will grab a small pile of candy from my pocket, and I'm gonna, as we start walking, drop one every 5 or so feet.
Such a nuanced character, by the way, Drew.
Thank you.
I'm sure there's candy this way. And I point
As
forward.
Mifflin, you look down, there seem to be little drops of... What type of candy are you leaving to follow?
As a homage to our other group, honey sweets.
Honey sweets on the ground. You best pick them up and eat them if you want them before dirt begins to stick to their hard outer shell.
Immediately, you just watch as the glaive just
Just
like
keeps
a fighter jet down to the ground.
bouncing from candy to candy. Also, yes words, I did. Jake, so you said that you moved forward then?
Definitely.
Ismira, you see the glaive
Care to
bouncing.
join me, Ismera?
Yeah.
As the tentative Minotaur follows behind the bouncing glaive and Jake. You go through the mist with the lights getting brighter and brighter before you begin to see a silhouette or an outline of stairs near the bottom of these lights. White and wooden, they connect to your stone pathway and are blocked off by the hedges. The stairs seem to lead upwards into the fogs towards the bright green lights.
Whoa, this is fun. There's an empty place in my bones. They call out for something unknown. Into the stars we go. Let's go up this staircase unknown.
Yeah, you keep throwing candy, I'll be there.
I pop a candy on the first step.
Yeah, let's just get inside. Okay, yeah, if you could just like speed up the glaive hopping a little bit. Like, what if I picked up the candy for you and then I just like run? Would you like follow afterwards?
Yeah, I can fly. So if you want to do that, you just hand it to me instead of throwing it on the ground. It'd be much more appreciated. But you know,
I pull out the sack that's got all the candy. I turn around to Esmeralda and I go, "Here, put this on your shoulder." And then I look over to the little sprite and go, "Bon appetit."
oh my God! Look at all the candy. Zoom.
The glaive misses your neck by inches, Ismara, before it lands on your shoulder.
Okay, great. Now let's get inside. Let's get inside. Okay, let's go, please.
As the three of you walk up the white wooden steps, you hear the creaking moan of the wood beneath your feet. 1 step by 2 by 3 by 4. 10 steps before you reach a flat surface where the lights
Of a door.
burn brightly green. I left it out
And there's
there.
a rhyme in there, Ryan.
I left it out there. You can imagine it yourself. I tried to set it up 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're up at the flat surface. As you reach the floor near the door, the lights shine out some more, revealing a great big door in front of you. Maybe 5 feet wide by 10 feet high. This great brass handle is in the shape of a gargoyle's face, a knocker on the front of the door with glass near the top. But on this floor outside of the door, there are several porch-like items, a rocking chair made of white wood, and an old lantern that seems to be out of fuel, possibly ready to carry those green flames that hang on lanterns nearby the door.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Anyone opposed? Can I? No? I'm just gonna, as I'm reaching for the knocker, I'm gonna see if Jake or Mifflin stop me. But I'm just gonna knock.
The only
No one's
opposing I've got, hon, is my thumb.
Yeah,
Okay.
as long as you do it, I ain't gonna stop you.
Got it. Okay, sorry. It just took a second to like process what you were saying. Just okay. All right. And then I knock.
Her tentative attitude does not give way to the great strength behind her minotaur figure as she knocks with the great brass knocker on the door. The first knock echoes out like a boulder dropping in a canyon. You can hear it inside the house as if no one has lived there for a great time. The second knock, coming with the same force, somehow feels as if hitting a solid object with nothing hollow behind it anymore, as if knocking on a great stone wall, before the third and final knock is immediately met with the door opening just an inch or so, seeming that your knock opened the door.
Hello?
As
Hello?
Ismara calls out, you can hear your own voice echoing inside of the room, though you haven't gone in to see what's there. There doesn't appear to be anyone or anything answering your call.
Seems empty, my dear. Why
y-
don't we
yeah.
change that?
Okay. And I'm gonna push it more so it swings open
As
more to reveal the inside.
you slowly creak open the door, you can see the foyer of this great mansion. Inside, distressed old white wooden floors give way to gray walls and red curtains. One large staircase inside the foyer, big enough to host great events, leads upwards to the second floor. But on the bottom floor, there are 2 doors, one on the left and one on the right. Up at the top of the foyer seems to be a figure standing in the dark. If there were more light in here, you might be able to see it, but someone stands at the top of the stairs.
Aha! Finally, someone else in this attitudinal environment. Hello.
Mifflin's gonna sneeze, and as Mifflin sneezes, cast Fairy Fire.
On the
And
silhouette?
Just the little sparkles that are always around Mifflin just go. And fairy fire envelops.
So you're gonna shoot it up the stairs at the person as Jake says hello?
Let's see how far.
Just
it
making
goes.
sure I
I'm
know.
gonna roll. I'm gonna
60 foot, I believe.
Yeah, I feel comfortable with that. Yeah, it's gonna go towards that person. Just a good old sneeze.
As Jake, you yell hello, you all still standing outside the door, just kind of leaning in at this point, as Jake yells, hello, before Mifflin, achoo! Glitter flies upwards, running up the stairs and enveloping this silhouette in a bright, bright light, before beginning to cling onto the dress of a woman wearing a bright, sequined red gown. You see her head leaned downwards as in a great sleep, covered in crimson red hair. You cannot see her face behind her straight silken hair, but she doesn't move as you cast her in Fairy's light.
Sorry.
Why, hello, gorgeous. How are we doing?
You still staying outside as you speak to her?
I'm happy to take a step in.
Okay. As Jake says, hello, gorgeous, and takes one step into the abode. As soon as your foot...
Gorgeous, of course.
Gorgeous, of course. You get a... You know what? All GFYs are inspo tonight. It is Halloween. You're supposed to be doing some pun stuff, so I
You mean
will...
I'm meant to be pointing out all the puns I've already done?
Need to point out really, really good ones. Gorgeous.
All right.
I like that one.
Gorgeous.
So yeah, you totally get an inspo. As you take one step in, your foot touches the welcome mat below, and the entire hallway in the foyer begins to glow a bright, warm light as flames light up on the candles, and the entire room fills as if lit for dinner service or a party. This figure seems to react to your footsteps, and as she seems to suck in a great breath, seeing dust fly off of her shoulders, the fairy fire now clings to her dress and the sequins as if illuminated like a bright, think the Hunger Games kind of fiery dress. As she now sits with life, you can almost see her bony ribs as you say hello, gorgeous. She lets out a great bellowed wind. As you all stand in the doorway, you can feel this huge gust of wind try and escape from the house, as if the house itself is breathing. As this woman parts the hair from her head, and you see a beautiful, gaunt face stare at you from atop the stairs. Welcome! So very good to see you! It's been so long since I've had a guest. Thank you for coming, as she begins to stride one step with high red heels that clack as she walks down the great white staircase. I wanted to see someone for some time. Who sent you? Who told you of my location? I figured I was too out of the way, and if I don't know you, how did you even find your way here? Forgive me. I am a talker, and it is very nice to see you. One so gallant as yourself, and one with such an amusing costume as yours, seemingly looking at Yasmara.
As you look back at Jake, all of a sudden you notice there's a donut in his hand. Would you like a donut?
I do.
I have plenty of food in the backs of the kitchens. I'm fine for now, but it sounds like... I'm sorry, I did not expect that voice from you, as she points towards Ismara. I figured you would be far more growling and in character for the night.
That's because I wasn't speaking. Were you taking a nap at the top of the stairs?
No, I don't think so. Was I? Did I fall asleep for some time? I have been waiting for guests all night, and it feels like I've been waiting ages. It must have just gotten dark outside.
I look to Jake and Mifflin, and I'm like, you guys saw that, right? She was sleeping, right?
You look down at Mifflin. Mifflin's just chewing on a piece of candy in the bag.
I'm finishing my donut. People have different attitudes all the time.
Maybe I could be seeing things. Yeah. Thank you for welcoming us in. Sorry, we just kind of came in.
Of course, as she finally takes the last step down the stairs, Jake said that they have entered. Have Ismara and Mifflin also walked inside the abode?
Mifflin's wherever
Ismara is.
As
I
she has the bag of candy.
I would have followed soon after Jake.
Okay. So yes, as you're all in, she takes the final step down from the stairs, and the silky gown covered in sequins seems to hug her frame, and as it does, you can see that she must not be more than 40 or 50 pounds. She is not a skeleton, but she is skin and bones. White alabaster skin that clings to every curve on her bones. She
Maybe
must
two
not have
donuts.
eaten something in quite a long time. She says, "Oh, I will once we have candy for the night, of course. I would love to try one of your delicacies. Could I have one now?
Of course.
Let us splurge a little early." She reaches her hand out for a donut. As she does so, you see bony fingers and long claw-like nails at the end.
Wonderful when I hand over the donut while spinning it around my finger once before it lands into her hand.
Very nice. She takes the smallest nibble, the smallest possible bite of the edge of the donut that one possibly could. She says, oh, my, that has a great deal of sugar in it. This will do very well in our hall. Please, come, may I take your coats? I'm going to set the donut down, but I will come back for it. May I take your coats for the evening, if you have any weaponry that you choose not to carry along with you? I don't know if it's part of your costume or not, but I will, I can hang it up in the coat rack. There is a closet off, she goes to the door on the left, and opens it up. Mothballs and rats run out from the inside of this room. She says, whoops, whoops. They are not supposed to be there. She makes some room in the closet. If there's anything that you would like to hang, please. My husband will be down shortly, but for now, it will just be us. We can go dine and prepare and dance for the evening.
Wonderful. I look at back to Mifflin. Do you want to hang?
No, I can fly, so I don't want to be hanging. But wherever I go, the glaive goes. Sorry, sweetie.
Part
I mean,
of your
fair.
costume.
I've seen a house fly and a shoe fly, but I've never really seen a glaive fly though.
We have
That's a bad joke. Don't like it.
the party bard, it seems. Someone come to regale us in tales for the night. I am very excited. However,
I mean, I can share. I mean, I can give you a skeleton pun if you'd like. They're very humorous.
oh, please.
Ah, you missed the joke.
Oh,
goober.
you're right, I did. How clever. You're so clever. I feel like we should have paid you to join, and yet you come as a guest. Very
I
lucky
mean, I'll
company
never say no
indeed.
to gold.
Well, gold you shall find once we go on our treasure hunt for the night. We have the whole grounds laid out and ready for a scavenger hunt that you will die for. It's so good. I have been planning this for some time. I get quite prepared for Hallow's End and know that I do take compliments as my form of payment. So thank you for joining. But please, keep your glaive. I adore your costume. I do not know how it is that you shrunk yourself down so much. You must know a powerful mage. And you, as she reaches up to grab the side of your minotaur cheek fur, she kind of pets it and like tugs at it briefly and says, "It's such a well-made costume. Whatever did you make it out of?"
My skin?
What? So you skinned some great cow?
Excuse me?
That was
I mean, not
rude.
that great, but it's a cow.
I'm sorry, do you call them something else? I've heard that they roam as buffalo somewhere down to the south.
She just called you a buffalo.
What?
I am neither a cow nor a buffalo.
What are you then? I'm sorry, forgive me if I have not read the text in which you're referring to with your great bovine form.
Look, it's more of a camouflage, really.
She called you bovine.
That one I got. I got that camouflage pun, and it's most deserved. Just look at the features. They're so bovine. It's well done.
And you know, depending on how you feel, it's really a mood, really.
I hate everything here. Can I leave?
You what? Here?
Oh, I hate it.
You
What
As-
is that? Why can't nobody understand? I hate it here.
Oh, well, that's because we haven't even gotten started. You've only seen the foyer. Come, my tiny friend. Well, actually, names. I would like to know your names. Please stay in character. Do not tell me anything but your character's name. Who are you for tonight? I am Ayazend, the Great Witch.
What a beautiful name. You can call me Jake.
Thank you. Jake. I shall remember it always. I'm not sure the reference on yours either, but I bet I would like it if there was some sort of...
I'm sure you'll find out.
Please. And the two of you. Pointing to Ismara and Mifflin. Well, speechless.
Well,
Not all of
well-
us can be bards then, can we, Jake?
Not all.
No, I'm just reeling because I'm a minotaur, but you called me a bull
Uh,
and a cow.
I'm... The myths of old, I should have... It has been some time since I have read up on my history. Minotaur it is. I apologize profusely for my lack of knowledge.
See? Can you not believe it or not?
Yet another. Quite the clever bard. And you, young Glavefly, was that your name?
Nah. Oh, the name's Mifflin, and my nips get hard when I got danger senses going on. You know, they poke out, and when things go crazy.
Oh, beautiful names. Jake, Mifflin, and the Minotaur. I am so excited to know all of your costumes. Well, please then, let us dine for the night. I have already gotten the servants prepared. The food should be arriving any moment. Come. She begins walking again, seemingly barely able to hold herself up as she walks over to the door now on the right side of the room, and jiggles the handle for a moment, seemingly trying to struggle against a locked door before it suddenly opens itself. He says, come, let's... as she flings this door open, she waves a hand upwards, and the room that she walks into is exactly as described. A great dining hall with one long table that seems to span 50 feet in length, with a wall adorned with huge windows, able to see out into the foggy night. Though they're so fogged over, it's hard to even see outside of these windows. On the other end of the room, there is another door that seems to lead somewhere, but it doesn't have a handle on it. Very much like a servant's store, easy to walk in and out of with food. As Ayazend walks along the tables, the lights in there flicker and change to a bright blue flame. Do you all follow her into this dining room?
Yes.
Sure.
And I'm too shy to correct her that my name is not the Minotaur. I was about to be like, but she's just not going to say anything about it.
As you walk into the other room, the door seems to be almost weighted and close slowly behind you. As it does, you begin to see the red rooms, or the red flames from the foyer fade away, giving only light to the blue here in this dining room. She says, "Ah, the servants did not already have the food out. It is so hard to find good help these days. Give me a moment. I shall have a word with them, and we will have food out post-haste. Take whichever seat you
I
like.
do
I'm
not
sure more
believe it
guests
at
will
all.
come." Do not believe?
Do not believe it at all, yeah.
Oh, another pun. I will see what I can find you, my friend, as she has another small nibble of the donut that she brought from the other room, and says, "Whew," as she walks off into the servant door, leaving a as it slowly shuts, leaving you in this great room with the fogged over windows that lead to the outside. What are the three of you doing while you await your host's return?
Yeah, this is probably where we're gonna die.
Whoa. Wait, why would you say that?
Ah, it's just creepy stuff.
Okay, so then why don't we leave?
Death's not scary.
Well, might not be for you.
Remember that, and he sort of looks to both of them. You know, cremation is sometimes the last hope for a smoking body.
I don't.
Fine, take one.
Mifflin
I
goes
don't
back
want to
to, like,
award it,
chewing
but
on candy.
there are about 50 seats total along the length of this great table, with one at the head and one at the other head of the table, somewhere around 25 on each side of it. All of them set with pewtered silverware on with great large golden plates. Every single one of them covered in a layer of dust, maybe a quarter-inch thick. This room has not been used in decades. There are spider webs off in the corners, rat droppings lining the windowsill here. The only thing that seems to have been recent is the flames within the lanterns on the side of the wall and the candles. Are you all just sitting and waiting for your host's return?
Can I walk around the room and, like, I don't know, study? Well, actually, survey my exits, see if there's any hidden panels anywhere.
Absolutely.
Any hidden weapons anywhere.
Roll me an investigation.
Okay. Ooh, 18 plus 1. 19.
19. As you search around the room, getting closer to the edge of the windows where you can see outwards, the fog is dense, but as you walk near the windows, it seems to almost lift up a little bit. You can see out the windows into a great hedged maze, one not unlike ones that you see for Hallows End, corn mazes and the like. This is fairly traditional, though it seems to be almost a part of the grounds here. It's quite vast, and at the very end of the maze, from this height, that seems to be the maze is kind of lower as the mansion that you're in is up quite a ways, as you had to walk up the steps to even get to the bottom floor here. You can kind of see out and over the maze. There is one golden light, what must be 300 feet or so down at the edge of the maze. And sorry, go ahead. If you had anything you wanted to say to that, go for it. If not, I'll move on to the next thing, but go ahead.
I'll take note and then I'll tell the party afterwards.
Perfect.
There's a party going on?
As you continue to walk around, you leave footsteps in the dust below your feet. You notice footsteps for you, for Jake, and markings where the glaive had hopped from one spot to another, but you do not see any footsteps where Ayazend was and where she walked towards the servants' quarters.
Do we all notice that, or just...
Just her. She's the one investigating right now.
Okay, I take note.
And when you come back, you go to check the door just to survey your exit and notice that the door that you came through seems to be locked, though there is no spot for a keyhole on this side.
My eyes grow wide as I make the realization. Okay.
Okay.
And then, if that's it and that's the only exit, I will,
There is the servant's
join.
door still, but you haven't gone through there. There is no handle or anything that could lock that door.
Right, okay. I will then, just join my friends and be like, okay guys, I think we may be a little bit in over our heads tonight. The door's locked. Also, like, looking at the steps. 1, 2, 3? Only?
You've got to be kidding me.
No, I'm not. No.
I haven't
and
seen
then
one for a while.
no, haven't seen steps. Haven't seen her. Haven't seen what?
Ghosts.
She said she's a witch. Is she a ghost witch? Can you be both?
I mean, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it?
No. I don't think it would it?
It'd give us something to talk about. That's for sure.
Right. Mifflin, please can you contribute to That's Not in rhymes or phrases?
Yeah, I already told you I don't like this place. Don't like it.
Okay. Alright. You guys are making
But you
me
got
feel
candy
insane.
here, so I must stay until the candy's gone.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, how do you feel about her having no steps? And now there's a maze outside, by the way. Hello?
Yeah, well, like I said, we're probably all gonna die here, but at least you got candy. I go where the candy goes.
Okay. I have the candy, right?
You do?
And I got
Yep.
like here, here, here,
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
Yeah.
I toss it to the servants' quarters door. Through it.
I catch it.
Ah, damn it.
I go over to Jake. Yeah, now you got the candy, so I'll follow wherever you go.
I'll let you roll a dex save to see if you can catch it out of the air.
Sounds like a plan. Well, 10 plus 6 is 16.
16. Not a problem. As Ismar, you're like, you try and throw the bag of candy. There's not a lot of control you can give to this, as it's a loose bag of candy. Trying to throw it through the servant's quarters door. You try to throw it over Jake's head before he snatches it out of the air and gives you a disapproving look before
Well,
looking
as I
in.
catch it, look, it's a very good pouch. And then I throw the sweets from inside the pouch to the kitchen door, to the servant's door, and then put the pouch back on my side.
See, now the candy's in the door, so I'll go where the candy goes. And Mifflin goes.
Clarification.
Where
Good
the candy
pouch.
DM clarification question. Are you just throwing like small little sugar candies at the door like rocks on a window, or are you opening the door and throwing some in?
No, I put my hand in and grab 24 candies and just lob it behind me, because I guess it was going past my
Towards
head.
the door?
Towards the yeah.
Gotcha. Mifflin, you're going over to grab the candies?
Hell yeah.
Okay. As you walk over towards the candies, roll me a perception check.
Oh, that's what I'm really good at. That's 12.
12. As you move closer to the servants' doors, and I wish the players could hear it at the same time, because I have an audio mixer ready, but the viewers will be able to hear it at least, so good for them. As you move closer to the servants' door, you begin to hear what sound like many voices coming from behind the door. You take a few steps with your glaive over towards the candies. Before each step, it seems to get louder towards the door. It sounds like screaming. It sounds like men, women, children. It sounds like dozens of people behind that door, screaming out, crying outwards for something. You can't do anything but hear the screams coming behind the door.
You need candy? Because this is mine. Yeah, there's people screaming in there.
I'd be screaming too if the food wasn't ready.
Yeah, but no, like, there's people screaming. Like, ah! You know, screaming. I want to just take this candy and go. And Mifflin's just going to pick up the pieces of candy and then fly back over.
As you do so, the voices seem to fade as you move further away from the door. You can no longer hear the screaming. You know it's there. You know the screaming should echo out further for how loud it was getting as you get closer to the door, but you can no longer hear it in the room.
Yeah, if you go close to the door, you can hear screaming. As you get away, you can't hear it.
Yes, Milford, that's called distance.
Well, go listen.
I tiptoe over.
Ismara, as you make some steps closer towards the door, just as Mifflin had described, the closer you get, the louder the screams become until you can hear dozens of people screaming in terror behind the door.
Oh my god. I push it open.
As soon as you do, the second the door hinge moves, the screams stop. And the room is almost deafeningly silent. As the door slides open and slams to the back, you see an empty kitchen. covered in webs and rat droppings. A cutting board that was in the middle of use before whatever was left there was long since left there. A dried up piece of meat, rotten fruits in bowls on the corners. What would have been hanging dried meat from the ceiling is now just nubs as the rats have gotten to them. This empty kitchen and storeroom is just that. It goes about 10 feet before there's another door off on the far end. There seems to be old kegs that have since been broken into, and whatever drink was in there has since been lost. But you do notice one keg at the very end, though broken into, there seems to be some liquid as it holds the bottom half of the keg still open, is filled inside the keg.
Wow, they'd do anything to make the ends meet, really.
Is it, Isent? Hello? Are you napping again? Hello?
Did you hear it? The screams and such.
I did. But Isent's gone now, and there's literally no food being prepped. I mean,
Did
yeah,
you scare away the screams?
No. I like close the door again to see if I hear it.
As soon as you close the door, it's still silent. Now you put your ear up to the door listening for the screams. You hear something. What languages do you speak, Ismara?
Common, Goblin, Minotaur, and Sylvan.
Seems to be in some foreign tongue. As you put your ear to the window, you can hear a man and a woman murmuring to each other, as if whispering secretively behind the door for those outside not to hear. There's argumentative tones. You can hear his voice raised before hers raises even louder, though you cannot understand the words.
Okay, no, they're back. The screams and voices are back. Listen, please, come on. Listen and tell me I'm not crazy.
Here we go, ghost.
Wait a minute. Is that outside? Is back street back?
Cannot be all puns. I hate you.
Mifflin's gonna go over to the door, crying.
Crying in
Look, big
laughter
fairies
from the
don't cry,
pun?
okay?
No, crying in disgust of the puns.
Fair enough. As Mifflin gives the most disdainful look to Jake before going over to the door. What languages do you speak, Mifflin?
Deep speech in Sylvan and Common.
Perfect. As you put your ear to the door, you hear nothing. Ismara seems to hear something behind there, still saying, kind of nodding as if, right, you hear that, right? Though there's nothing that comes to your ear.
Yeah, no, don't hear it.
I swear, I'm sober now. My last drink was like hours ago, clearly, and this has scared me, but I'm not insane. Okay, now I feel like I am insane. I know I'm not, but I am. I walk
Mifflin's
over
gonna
to
open the door.
As you're saying the insanity part, I walk over and rest my hand on your shoulder. Remember, there is no failure, only feedback. How you can improve going forward.
What?
As Jake says this, Mifflin throws the door open. It takes much of your strength for this door to slide open, and you have to quickly run to follow it to keep it open. But this room is just as Ismara described, empty, save for the one half-filled keg at the end with some dark liquid, and another door, this one with a handle, on the far end of this servant's kitchen.
So, are we not eating?
Does it look like there's any food being made?
Are we getting eaten?
Are we? Are we?
Well,
Okay.
she
Well,
said there's a feast, and then there's no food being made, and then it's just us.
This reminds me of this time, right? That a keg exploded. You know why the keg exploded? Because it succumbed to beer pressure.
Oh. I ate it here still.
I'm gonna start giving GFYs. As Mifflin says, I hate it here still. You hear a jiggle on the door at the end of the servant's kitchen. The brass doorknob tries against a lock to turn. You see that it's locked from this side. Whatever is trying to get in seems to be unable to, as the door itself is locked. You are safe.
I'll just start putting puns in the chat instead.
There we go. You have to have actual dialogue and not just fun references. Although, you are in character for it.
So I am.
Hello?
You hear a reply for the first time that you call out. Yes, please unlock the door. I seem to have locked myself out. You hear Ayazen's voice.
Where's the food?
That's my question exactly. I cannot seem to find a servant one in this entire home, and now I've locked myself in. Please unlock the door.
I looked to Mifflin.
Yeah, that's how vampires get in, you know. They gotta be invited in.
This is
You're
my
small
home,
enough,
and I
you
am
can
not
fit in
in
the
a
lock.
vampire's costume. I am the Great Red Witch.
Well, ain't you got magic to open the door then?
I am in costume as the Great Red Witch, and I seem to have left my magic key elsewhere. And it is quite dark in here.
I don't like the dark.
I don't like the dark either.
So we agree.
So can you let me out of the dark?
Maybe. Are you not gonna eat me?
You are quite small, but I don't think that she did eat witches, and so I should not feign to do so. I would be afraid to accidentally swallow you, and that would be horrid.
You saying I don't taste good? I smell like brownies.
What? I have not tasted shrunken men.
I'm not a shrunken.
Yes? Can you please?
I mean, to be fair, Milfin, you do look radishing today.
I'm gonna kill this one myself. All right, come on in.
What was
This
that?
one's gonna...
What was the last thing that you said?
I'm gonna let you in.
Oh, good. Good. Thank you.
Radishing, it was radishing.
Do you go and unlock the door for her?
Yeah.
You go towards the door, and as soon as you fly upwards to the handle, what looked like a locking lug on a round brass doorknob suddenly seems to almost fade like an illusion, and you find yourself right below the handle where a traditional key-like lock is. With your small form, you could see directly through the keyhole and see the nothingness inside. It's pure dark in there.
Put your face by the keyhole.
It is. Hello?
I can't see you.
You're some inches away. Do you get up towards the keyhole to take a look?
I ain't getting poked in the face.
You don't have to.
So I'll look from a distance.
You're probably about a foot away.
Right.
Milfin. Remember to talk calmly, because communication is the key.
Mifflin ignores the sage advice. All right. You got any candles in there?
I do not. I would light them if I did just like I did in the Great Hall, but that is just a parlor trick. I have not set any sort of magic candles in here. The servants should have kept this room lit. There are no windows in here. I cannot see out. It is
You got
quite
a
dark.
torch.
Why? Did you see pockets in the dress that I was wearing? It is quite form-fitting.
You should get pockets for your dress.
I
You can
normally
put things in there.
wear trousers.
Andy.
This is Hallows End, sir.
Well, costumes are better with pockets.
I will sew some on for the next year.
Can I, like, look in this room for a candle?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then
As-
I'm gonna try and, like, break it in half. And
Roll me
just
an
enough for, like,
investigation.
a wick to go through. Investigation with my +1 is a 14.
Solid. You're certain that there are no candles or unlit wicks in here, though there are the lanterns that glow bright blue inside the dining hall area, and there was the
No.
empty lantern outside.
I just need some wicks.
Do
I'm
not
gonna
find
take
any.
a wick. Oh, well. Shit. Well, I'm out of ideas. I ain't
Did you-
got a key.
Do you say you need wicks out loud?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm looking for wicks. If I can shove the wick through the keyhole, and then I can light it from the other side so she can see. So I
How
can
long
make
a
sure
wick?
she's actually
An inch,
there.
2 inch, 3 inches?
One.
I pull out a spool that looks very similar to a wick. And there you go.
Okay. Mifflin flies back and shoves the wick kind of into the keyhole. You gotta grab the other side.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know about you guys. I don't know how many candles could exactly fit through a keyhole. You could put string through, like an uncovered.
That's what I'm saying, the wick.
Okay. Yeah, so you're just going to put some string through?
Scandalous.
Perfect.
I
you-
mean, it'd be waxed string, right?
Okay. Yeah, it could at least be coated in a small amount, if that's what Jake does. Enough to make it last a bit longer and be a little bit more stiff and easy to slide through the keyhole. Do you stick the wick through?
Not all the way through, but enough to where it should be out on the other side. Grab it!
Okay. Roll me a sleight of hand.
I swear to God, if you rip off my fingers. Sleight of hand. is
Handle it with
15.
care. Make sure you handle it with care.
15.
That's a good one. You get it. As for you, what is over your shoulder, you slide a giant wax-coated string through the keyhole. As it goes through, you eventually feel it slowly pulled through the keyhole.
Alright. Hold it from one end. And I'm going to use Druidcraft to ignite the tip of this wick. Put it near your face so I can see you.
She leaves one tip out on your side for you to light before she pulls it through. So you light it on your end before she pulls it through,
Yeah.
correct? Okay. As she pulls the wick through, the flame is lit. Do you look through to see if you can see her now?
Yeah.
Okay. Still not getting very close, correct?
I ain't getting poked
Yep.
in the eye.
You're 5-6 inches away, but again, for you, that's still quite a large keyhole. As you look through, the wick is lit, though the distance to the door seems impossibly far. Like a candle at the end of a long hallway, this small flickering flame seems 100 or so feet away from the door. Roll me a perception check at disadvantage because you're too far away from the keyhole.
Critical fail.
Good. You see the wick in there. It seems to flicker almost on and off just from the pure distance and how hard it is to see a tiny flame that far away.
Well, makes sense for me. She's got the wick. I'm gonna open it. Or at least try to.
Do you try and open the
Great
door?
job.
Yeah.
What key do you have?
I don't.
Do you have any
I'm just gonna
lockpicking
jiggle
kit?
that. Oh,
You're gonna try and open it just by turning the handle?
I am.
Okay. As you hug the giant brass handle and basically lean
And then
backwards,
use my wings to like flutter to turn the knob.
the door
As
handle.
this is happening,
Yeah, go ahead.
can I quickly turn to Esmeralda? 'Cause I noticed she definitely saw the spool of wick, and I was like, you know, this was one of my quick chances to make money.
I don't know who Esmeralda is.
Oh, Ismaria. You've got your own. I've got your own now. I've got Milfin over there.
Milfin, Esmeralda.
And how are you
I'll
getting
get you
more?
a better name.
How are you getting more drunk? You haven't even been drinking.
I just get drunk on life.
As
Your
Mifflin
life is life.
tries to turn the door handle, you turn it half an inch before hearing it almost lock in place.
I tried to open it, but it won't open.
There, now sounding much, much further away. There used to be a key.
Why
Before-
are you so far away from the door?
Her voice seems to almost fade away as if she's walking away from the door.
I think she's gonna run into the door and try and bash it out. Mifflin like moves away from the door.
You
Right,
move
so what-
onto one edge near the kegs and near the big black liquid at the bottom of one half of a keg.
What can we smell from that keg?
Roll a perception or investigation, whichever's higher for you.
Okay. Perception, investigate.
Mm.
16.
16. As you sniff the air, your great non-bovine minotaur nostrils allow you a better sense of smell than these others do. As you sniff the air, you smell iron and something acidic like lemon juice squeezed freshly near your nose. As you move closer to the black liquid, you smell it coming heavily from there.
Key. Could it be whiskey in there?
I'm not putting my hand in that. Mm-mm. Right. So, I think we should just break a window and leave.
Like a tree?
Leave.
Yeah, let's get out. Don't lock it.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go back to the dining table and pick up one of the chairs.
Okay.
SpongeBob. The pencil.
What was that one more time? With some conviction.
Little.
There we go. You get an inspo then for going for it.
And then try to, with my minotaur muscles, toss the chair at the window.
Okay. You pick up the chair, and as soon as you do, it crumbles. As soon as you pick up the top half of the chair, it detaches itself from the bottom. This is old, decayed wood. You can pick up both halves or some of the legs, but anything trying to hold itself together, you're lucky none of you actually sat down in any of the chairs. You might have fallen straight down.
Yeah, don't lock it. Mifflin's grabbing the glaive and ramming the window with the glaive.
look
Ismara,
down
you
at
still
it.
have large
What is
planks
that?
of wood, or, chair legs to try and throw through if you'd like, as Mifflin continues to fly towards the glass.
I look
You
at the
could do it
broken
same
chair
time.
in your hands. That's gonna be a real pain to replace.
I'm not replacing anything for this lady. Wait, sorry, did the glaive go through? Not go through?
So you pick it up, and then I was going to give you an option to also throw something at the thing at the same time since you started it if you'd like, or if you want to just see if the glaive goes through, you totally can.
Oh, yeah, I want to add on to the window pane.
Go for it. As so do you take some of the chair legs and throw it at it?
Unless there's like a candle, where you put the candles in.
there are metal plates, a candelabra on the table, of course, because you're supposed to be their guest. As you could throw that out if you'd like.
I'll do both because I have two hands.
Throw a chair leg and a candelabra. So go ahead and
metal
roll me
plate.
a
Plate and the candelabra.
plate and a candelabra. So go ahead and roll me a regular strength roll for both you and Mifflin.
17.
Plus 6, so 24.
As Ismara, you rear back with the candelabra and the plate and try and toss both at the same time. As Mifflin, are you trying to ram through with the glaive or trying to throw it out, like to break it?
No, I'll ram through it. I don't
Okay.
let go of my glaive.
Yeah, no problem. As you begin sliding forward, Ismara, you've already let go of the objects as the plate flies harmlessly through the window, as does the candelabra, as if there was no window there at all. Mifflin, you ram the glaive. It seems to go right through like a hot knife through butter before your body slams into the glass. Boom! Sounding like a large fly hitting the glass. Your glaive sticks all the way through. And as you hit it, you bounce backwards and your glaive seems to move backwards with you.
Violently flailing the glaive now. Just...
Mifflin swings back and forth, but it's no better than trying to swing a stick through fog.
Mifflin, don't try to break the window. That's impossible.
There's
Instead,
no window!
only try to realize the truth. There is no
There's
window.
no window!
Exactly.
Get away from these puns!
Must be a
I'm
real pain.
scared.
Must be a real pain.
You can't keep using pain.
No, it's just perfect for that sentence. I have
Fair.
to use it for that one.
Fair. As you all sit there with Mifflin, as words described, whiffin, trying to break these windows, nothing seems to make contact with them. You try and ram it with the side of your shoulder before you feel a solid object, but you feel glad that you didn't toss your glaive through the window.
I never let go of my sweet baby. I'm gonna stop.
Mifflin,
And I
Elaborate and listen.
take the glaive, put it under me as a seat, and just hold on to the glaive as I float. And I'm gonna use one of my features, called Magic Awareness. And I'm going to open my awareness to the presence of concentrated magic, and until the end of my next turn, I know the location of any spell or magic item within 60 feet of me that isn't behind total cover. When I sense a spell, you learn which school of magic it belongs to, and that's it.
60 feet?
Yeah.
Perfect. The walls of this room that lead outwards, the windows that seem to lead outside, and the window on the other wall there that would connect to the corner here, seem to be completely coated in illusion magic. The wall, however, holding the door that you came through, the very first door that you walked in through into the dining area, does not appear to have any magic. But you do sense a small bit of magic coming from the servant's kitchen. The door has since been closed, but you sense magic within there.
Yeah, Mifflin's probably gonna go to the door they originally came through and just start hacking at it.
Okay, go for it. With the glaive.
Mm-hmm.
As Mifflin sighs heavily, picking up the glaive, almost swims through the sky towards the great wooden door as the glaive slams into it, this time not going through, impaling the door. Go ahead and roll me an attack roll for damage, because there's no way you're going to miss the door.
Ooh!
Hold on, as you roll, before you get the numbers out, I am going to inspire you. You can
Okay.
do it! You can do it all night long! And I give you Bardic Inspiration.
Somebody's
Add
been
an-
watching
add a
Happy
D8.
Gilmore.
Alright. Ooh! Okay, so 9, 12, And then with that D8, that's going to be 18.
18 damage with the bardic inspiration, correct?
Yeah, and you notice a bonus action, I'm going to flip the glaive and bash it with the back end too.
Perfect. As you slice
With
into the
another
glaive
4.
like a fireman's axe, a huge gouge is met in the center of the door. It seems to barely be holding itself, but like a battering ram, the back end of your glaive hits right on the door's hinge, completely splintering the door in half. You can see now back into the room in which you came, that the room is dark.
Oh my god. Oh my god, you're a genius, Mifflin. You're a genius. You're a genius.
No, I just don't like being stuck in places.
Right.
I had this lady, she put me in a jar once. She's like, load up my house. And I was like, I don't want to. And then she was all like, do it or I'll shake the jar. And then she shook the jar and I was like, I don't like this. So, long
Far
story
out. That
short,
sounds like a jarring experience for sure.
I'm gonna kill you.
As the three of you listen to the jarring tale and threaten each other in this haunting situation, you are bathed in blue light, looking outwards into the great room in which you came. Looking out there, the foyer, now bathed in a blue glow, looks almost different than it did previously. The great white floor now seems to be almost immaculate, not old and creaky and losing its paint. It seems to be almost brand new in the glow of this blue light. But you don't see everything in there. It is still quite dark, as the lights are within this dining hall and not in the foyer.
Before we move forward, you guys, I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace on us.
What tingle?
Can I pause? You made very, like, a point to say pass without a trace. It is pass without trace, actually.
It is, sorry.
So,
I-
I just had to call it out because you made a point to be like, without a trace.
I mean, there's also the B trace and the C trace, but we don't really talk about those.
Of course.
I set that up. Oh, that's my bad. Just in case, just help us out before we move forward. Okay, great.
You gonna try and stealthily move into the next room?
Never hurts to be quiet.
Okay. Anybody who's moving stealthily back into the foyer, go ahead and roll me a stealth roll plus 10.
This is fun. And I,
Whoa! That's a 14.
Natural 20 plus 2
Ooh.
plus 10.
14, like with the plus 10, Mifflin?
Yeah.
Good. Jake?
24 with the plus 10.
24. As Mifflin glows
This
while
is
flying
terrifying.
and yells, Ismara quickly grasps Mifflin, almost the entirety of Mifflin's body. It looks like Ismara is just holding a glaive, but to silence Mifflin with Ismara's nat 20. As you quickly and quietly move into the next room, as soon as Ismara, leading, takes one step back into the foyer glows a bright red, with the combination of the blue and the red light leaving things an eerie pinkish purple hue. Roll me a perception as you walk in back to the foyer.
15.
15? For everybody, by the way.
19.
19.
I imagine I'm like in a hand at the moment, so I'm just not gonna roll.
Fair enough. Jake, as Ismara is holding Mifflin and basically going, shut up, as walks through, Ismara, you're now covered in the glow of a bright red light. But Jake, as you walk by, like looking out of a 3D movie's glasses, as you stand in between the two rooms, one eye bathed in blue light and another eye bathed in red light, you notice something quite different. As you look at the room closing your left eye, your blue eye sees the room as it once was, quite immaculate, an old visage of a brand new foyer. But as you close your right eye, you see that it is destitute and covered in cobwebs and dust and losing paint and everything that was described before. As you walk into the red room, you lose vision of the blue eye and see the entire desolate foyer.
Intrigue. I explain this.
Um. hmm. Is one brighter than the other?
Well, right now, as you go back into the foyer, you're in nothing but red light. Do you try and go stand between them so that both lights are on? Otherwise, you're not going to be
Sure.
able to tell if one's brighter than the other.
Yes.
Okay. Ismara, as you step back in between the two of them, roll a perception at advantage now that this intricacy has been pointed out.
What stat? Sorry.
Perception at advantage.
17.
17. They both appear to be the same kind of brightness as you're covered in the glow of both red and blue light here, standing in this doorway. You do see what was pointed out, the newness of the room if you look with the blue light, and the oldness of the room if you look with the red light. Jake, as you're standing there, are you also taking a look, or did you step out of the way for Ismara to take a look?
I'm stepping out of the way.
Okay. Mifflin, you're held in the hand, but you can see out. It's just covering mostly your mouth at this point. That needs to be Jackie's, like, Red Wagon Inn profile.
Oh, I have a better way to keep him quiet. And I pull out a large cod stopper and I give it over to Ismara.
I will like slowly release and
It's almost like having a piranha in your hand. It's just.
I'm imagining the pixies from Hellboy that just as somehow, even though this tiny pixie frame mouth envelops the jawbreaker and it almost shrinks into size. Gobstopper, jawbreaker, whatever you want to call it. Mifflin, you're now very preoccupied with this very sweet tasting treat for some time.
Yeah, Mifflin's happy.
But yeah, Ismara, you and Mifflin now, as you're holding Mifflin, stand in the doorway looking between the two lights.
Mifflin? No, it's Mifflin. Right eye? Left eye? Okay. Do you see anything different?
Roll a perception
Is
at
there-
advantage, Mifflin.
And then while that's happening, I'm just looking for like, is the newer side showing me a door that was or was not there before, vice versa?
Roll perception again at advantage. This time, take a +5 to your roll.
Oh,
With a +0, it's a natural 20.
Oh! So we'll see what Ismara also says.
Perception +5.
Yep.
19 to 27.
27. As you specifically asked what to look out for, and Mifflin, you get this almost immediately as you kind of just quickly wink from one eye to another. Wink from one eye to another. It makes it easy as you look back into the foyer. Now, standing bathed in the red light of the foyer, you see the staircase. But looking in through the blue light, you notice that there is no staircase there. There is a door. As you wink back and forth, seeing in the red light, it seems that this room has been painted with red paint, so that only this destitute color will appear whenever it's bathed in this red light, hiding the door behind what looks to be the great staircase, though in a different light, like blue, you see that there is no staircase at all, just red paint.
Okay. I go. Okay. I could see it too. Okay.
You have a
Jesus.
jawbreaker, you can at least talk like this.
I go to the door.
'Kay.
Okay.
As
Okay.
you approach the door, there's a small brass handle and another keyhole, just like the one you saw in the servants' quarter.
I touch the handle.
As you touch it, it feels icy cold.
Okay, Mifflin.
Yeah?
Okay, shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
Oh, sorry, I've only got 1 decibel forward.
Right, okay. I'm just gonna lower you down to the keyhole. What do you
Right.
see?
What do I see with my fairy eyes?
It is quite dark through the keyhole. If there was some light, it might be easier to see. There is the small key-like light shape that leads to the ground. And you can see a floor in there, but you can't see much else. You see a near marble floor on the other side of this door.
Here's the marble floor. That's it. That's all I see. You got light. You can poke your little finger through and make light.
What'd you say?
You got a light.
No, what kind of floor is it?
Marble.
Come again?
Marble.
Just one more time.
Marble.
Jeez, you've really lost your marbles, haven't you?
I'm gonna get him. And I imagine like Mifflin's like trying to get to Jake, but it's just like held in place.
You see the glaive kind of wiggle inside Ismar's hand as if she's just shaking it angrily at you, Jake, as you see small bits of fairy dust pour out from the bottom half of the glaive. What are we doing?
Nothing.
Can you go through the hole? Can I tell that straight
No,
away?
no, that's how I die. I don't want to die. It's not gonna be good. I'm gonna get halfway through, get stuck, expand for some reason, and then I'm gonna die. Or get electrocuted inside the log. See, I've heard it happen before.
You're really cute, but I can't understand a word you're saying.
I know, right?
I don't want to die.
This whole episode is a PSA. Don't be Cockney. If you are, change.
I can I hit the handle? Okay, hold on. Just put you on my shoulder. I'm gonna try to hit the icy door handle with my horns.
Okay.
That's using your head.
Alex, do you just rear back and just go for an attack on the handle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a damage roll.
Damage roll, not even roll to hit?
Nope. It's a door. It doesn't
Okay.
move much.
The door. I got it. Damage. Well, that's 6.
6. As you rear back, holding the glaive up and away, you swipe at it once with the horns from your great minotaur head. And as you do so, it hits the door handle, knocking it sideways before dangling there briefly on a screw. You could almost pull the door handle off now if you'd like. It is
Yes.
just barely held on. But you also notice when you do it, the door itself doesn't seem to budge as you swipe at this door. But the handle does seem to break loose.
Okay, I pull the handle off and then I try to kick the door open.
You slide the handle off. There's the other part of the handle, or the second handle that's on the other side of the door. You could try and like push through it with your finger. It'd be very hard. You could use the back end of the glaive, but you'd have to remove it from its screws on the other side as well.
Wow, Ismira, that was adorable.
Okay,
The glaive wiggles again.
alright.
All I'm gonna have is glaive wiggling all day.
Okay. Would anyone else like to try anything?
You definitely did a lot here. You just, if you want to try and essentially remove the door's locking mechanism from this thing, you're going to have to remove the other part of the handle, which can do. It'll be difficult with just a hand, but you have other tools.
I'll do it. I
Okay.
have a
You
spear
can
and
do
horn.
it.
You gonna
A horn attack?
you gonna go for a horn attack?
Yeah.
Go, Tauros, use your horn attack. As
Ah,
Ismara rears
Jackie.
downwards. What'd you get?
Sorry.
Wait, did you just do Jakey? Like,
Yeah.
can you do that one more time?
Jackie.
Good.
Five.
You get an inspo.
Five.
I don't care.
5 is damage.
5. Perfect. So one of your horns does actually pierce through onto through the other door handle, knocking it out on the other side. As soon as it does that, cold, breezy air pours out from the hole you have created in the door, where your horn is now embedded and lodged into. You can feel it running up the length of your horn, like frostbite going up your bones. From the angle that you're in, you're almost stuck in this immovable door here. You try and pull back, but the door itself doesn't seem to move. If you want to try and free yourself from this hole before any sort of icy damage might take effect, go ahead and roll me a strength save.
Okay. Oh yeah. 23.
23. As you pull, you put both hands, and then eventually you have to pick yourself up and put both legs on the door as well and push heavily before breaking yourself free. You can see a small chip on your right horn. Had it stayed in there, it might have frozen off entirely and broken. Now you can feel, all of you, the cold air pouring out from this open handle in the doorway. It's cold, but it's not quite as freezing as it once would have been if you were right up against the handle. It slowly pours out, filling this room with an icy chill before less and less of that cold air seems to come out through the hole in the door.
Okay. Okay. I think we got it. I'm gonna. Is it open or is there just a hole in it?
There's just a hole there, but if you want to try and finagle to open the door from the inside and attempt a lockpick, now with advantage since you have broken off the door handle, you might be able to open this door.
Okay. I look to the rest of the crew. Any other?
I mean, you might as well give it your whole shebang.
You smack it with this. And Mifflin will take the back of the glaive. Just pop.
Do you just smack the door?
Yeah.
You hear loud as if you hit stone. Just
All right, maybe not.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to stick my hand and unlock it from the inside, outside, other side.
so you're gonna try and stick your hand through the hole and open in. So not really a lockpick, but try and just, finagle your way through.
Yes.
Okay. With your big giant minotaur hands, this will be tricky. Roll me a sleight of hand. No longer at advantage.
Whew. 18.
18. It mats your fur pretty hard, and it's quite cool as you reach your hand through the door. But as you reach in, you're able to, just like a bangle, fit your wrist through the door. You can imagine it'll be quite difficult to get this off. As you reach your hand through the hole in the door, grab the doorknob on the other side, or not the doorknob, the deadbolt like lock on the other side, and turn it. You hear a loud as the door swings itself open, pulling you now with it into the room. As it does pull you in, were you gonna say something?
Oh no! Before I stick my hand in, I'm like, okay, and I'm like screaming, kind of like mini screaming the whole time I'm doing it because I'm prepping myself for the cold.
Gotcha. As it's quite cold, but nothing like it was before. Whatever cold entity was here, whatever chilled your horn, seems to have slowly dissipated itself out from this room. As it pulls you into the door, immediately you're greeted from a bright, kind of violet glow as you enter this room. It pulls you in. You try and pull against the door, but it is impossibly strong as it slides open. You find yourself in a room with a great mirror spanning the other wall entirely. It is about 10 feet high and maybe about 40 feet wide. This room itself may be about 40 by 40. With the door that you just came in, you can look back and see this wall itself is mirrored as well. The wall to your left and right are also mirrored, and there is a door in the dead center of both the right and the left wall. This whole room is one infinitely spanning corridored mirror. There are 4 flames of violet color, one in each of the upper corners of the room, and the ceiling of this room is a dark oaken floor with the marble bottom.
Wait up. Before we go in, let's just have a moment of reflection.
That's a good one. I gotta give it to you.
Want to kill him? Want to kill him? I will.
Okay. Okay.
Good job. How's your horn? Still cold? If it's still cold, you can go stand in the corner. It helps because it's 90 degrees over there.
I'm not giving
Oh,
you
I'm
that
gonna
one.
kill him. I'm gonna kill him. Just don't let go of me, or else we're gonna be down another party member. Because I'm gonna kill him.
Okay.
If this witch don't do it, I'm gonna do it.
I agree. Okay, so should we just go forward? Should we just do it? Should we just, without him, just move forward?
We just break the yeah.
Okay.
We just break it.
Break them. Okay, here, you do it. I open the door. It's your turn to do something. Here,
Ismara,
you do
you're
it.
still stuck in the door hole that is
Oh.
swung open at this moment, just FYI. You can try and pull yourself out if you'd like, but Ismara has dragged Mifflin in as Jake, you stand outside the room watching currently, unless you're going in with them.
I would like to pull myself out.
Okay. Jake, are you going in at
No.
all? Jake!
Of course I'm going in.
Okay. As Jake also has entered the room. Ismara, you try and pull yourself out. It's quite difficult. Though the door has swung open, you pull against it and it feels as if it is closed and stuck shut. Knowing that pulling against this, you should be essentially closing the door, but it doesn't budge as you try and do so. Go ahead and roll me another strength save to get out of there.
Okay, 13.
13. As much like before, you put both feet on the door and push yourself off, trying to get it stuck off of your hand, but in doing so, you can see and feel your thumb pop forward as you break your thumb trying to pull yourself out. You're going to take a reduction to strength by 4 points. And you take 8 points of damage as you pull yourself out. You can see your thumb dangling downwards inappropriately and unable to move it backwards.
Oh, that looked painful.
Luckily, you've got a second one.
But that was my good thumb. Okay.
We're born with spares.
I'm gonna break all this glass now. And Mifflin's just gonna fly around and just
As
literally just try and.
Ismara backs away from the door, observing her broken thumb, Mifflin, you fly towards the far end wall to break one of the glass. As you do so, the lights flash and dance a brilliant multitude of colors. The room feels like an eternal disco for a flash of a moment. Before all of you standing in the room, you feel a sudden as a great stone column slams upward from the very center of the room. I need a dexterity save from all 3 of you.
Oh, yeah. Dirty 20.
19.
23.
We're all
23.
Dixie.
Okay. Right.
I'm kinda
So,
dexy.
all 3 of you jump out of the way of this great stone column that seems to come up, almost splitting the room entirely in half here. As it slams upward, you can see mirrors are on both sides of it as well. Now, essentially making the room smaller. It's now almost a 20 by 40 room that you're in. You're certain that it must have been cut directly in half. The other room probably looks the same as this. You all kind of dust yourself off as you stand upwards, unaffected by this great wall that moves upwards. As you look over at each other, you all seem to be in one piece.
Okay, that was good. Great, great, great. Okay,
I'll smash this one.
okay.
I'll smash it!
Marvelous.
Mifflin, do you go to smash a mirror?
Yeah.
Let's say you came in from the southern door, right? Just for clarity's sake. This wall seems to have come up and completely blocked off the door that you came through. Because that door was right in the center. This wall came up right in the center. It's blocked that area off. So we'll say you came in from the south. There is 20 feet of wall to your south, 20 feet to the north, and 40 to the left and right. Which wall do you go to smash?
There was another. Was there another door?
There is. There is one on the what would be western side for you.
I'm gonna go opposite of the western door.
Gonna smash the eastern glass. Mifflin, you rush over with your glaive and with a heavy swing of its great metal, slam it against the mirror, and in one mighty blow, the mirror crumbles, leaving only a stone wall behind. Ismara, you see him go and smash that eastern wall where there is no door. Jake, you see him go and smash that western wall where there is no door. Smashed. Now one of the walls is completely down.
This is nice. Doesn't have that like portal effect where it's like, ah, you know, never ending walls and such. All right.
Good job.
Good talk. Good talk. I'm gonna break this one now.
We'll give you a new nickname. We'll call you a brick.
Mifflin's gonna go break the western wall.
Mifflin flies over, smashing into the western wall where there is a door as the mirror crumbles down onto the ground. Ismara, you see the whole western wall, basically the eastern and western floor now covered in shards of mirrored glass. Jake, you see that eastern wall covered in shards of glass with the door on the side of it. Mifflin has
Let's hope
been
Ayazin
attacking.
doesn't come back with us with a glass action lawsuit.
He's next. I swear to the gods, he's next.
Ooh.
I'm gonna
Okay,
get him.
right.
I'm gonna get him.
So how about we just smack the other ones at the same time, okay? Let's just get this over with.
Wait. We haven't actually like touched the door though. This door. Mifflin like takes the glaive and just like into the door.
Which going like into the door?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know you said you were going to do the walls. So currently the north and south walls still have mirrors on them and seem to echo on in a near endless or infinite cavern.
I hate it. Drew hates that.
So yeah, you go and smack the door. Much like the sound from before, it sounds like as it hits a heavy stone door, though the door itself is wooden. This one seems
Okay.
to have no keyhole in the bottom, however.
Just a handle.
Yep.
Okay, okay, okay. And 4 flames in the room, right?
Correct. Well, now you can only see the 2 because you're on half of the room.
Okay, Mifflin, you've been doing great so far.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do next?
Break more mirrors!
Okay.
Go down to the south wall.
Everybody sees Mifflin go to the south wall and break it. Again, scattering the floor with glass shards.
Good
One
thing I
more. One more.
One more wall.
Hey, it's a good thing I ain't got a walk. Going over to the.
Mifflin flies up and
Other.
breaks the glass of the north wall. As you do so,
And then the ceiling.
there's no mirror on the ceiling. It is just a wooden
Oh, okay.
ceiling above you. And then now you
Mifflin
sit in a
hates
room
mirrors.
with stone walls, marble floors, completely coated in glass mirrored shards, and a door. What are we doing?
Well,
That was fun.
I think we're going through the door.
okay.
I'm just gonna keep attacking the door, I guess.
As you,
Yeah.
it just continually sounds like trying to hit a glaive on a solid stone wall. You're not having any sort of progress trying to burst the door down.
Okay, Mifflin.
One more candy.
Sure. Here's another gobstopper.
As the pixie completely
have a ball of a
envelops the
time.
gobstopper. God, I hate it here. It completely envelops the gobstopper. Like a chipmunk, it sticks out of the side of Mifflin's cheek. You stare at this room with just the door, with the handle, with no keyhole, and the broken glass that you have created.
Ismira, I love watching you work. Would you like to have an attempt on this door?
I kind of broke my horn already, so yeah, but okay. I'll go. And I just I sadly turn my head 90 degrees and I grab up for the
Sad moves.
You sad charge it.
yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage. Don't forget your -2 to strength.
Wait. How does that work? What?
So you have a -2 to strength because it's 4 to your overall strength, so that's a -2 to your mod. So if you were normally doing d6 plus 5, now you're doing d6 plus 3.
I see. Okay. All right. Okay, I rolled a 4. I rolled a 4.
Do you
It
have...
was a +2 before.
Oh, so now it's 0.
Let's just do 4. Yeah, so it's just 4.
Cool. As you rear your horns downward and slam into the door handle, you can see that the door handle has a huge dent in the brass, but it also kind of spun freely as you hit it. It's almost about to break off of its hinges. You could definitely try again to break it off.
I do it again, sadly.
Okay.
Sad.
As you rear downward and make another strike, go ahead and roll damage again.
Ooh, 5.
5. This one would have been enough damage to cleave the whole thing off in one blow. As you do so, you slam off the door handle from this side. There's not any locking mechanism in which it holds itself in place, so the other door knob on the other side of the door falls off as well. This door
Good
seemed to
job.
have not been locked.
Good job, as I eat another donut.
Mifflin?
Yeah.
Door didn't. I don't think the door was locked.
Well, what do you expect from me? I'm just a wee little guy. I can't turn doorknobs.
Okay, right.
All I do is hit things, and I eat candy. That's what I do.
Lots of candy.
You can't get mad at me. If you won't get mad at anybody, get mad at Pun Boy. He ain't
Why?
done jack shit.
You take it,
He
Inspo.
done broke your thumb. He done broke your arm. I'm in smashing shit. He ain't done a goddamn thing. Except for just stand over there and make terrible jokes. Oh, is he even here?
I want to formally apologize to all of the English people. Oh,
You broke
Alex left.
You
He didn't want to be a part of this anymore. Which, you know, fair.
That was hang up. Jeez.
Ooh.
Woo.
But when did I start watching Peaky Blinders?
Man, thanks for coming on the show, Callie and Murphy. It's so glad to have you. Ooh.
Okay.
All right, wait. It's okay, Milfin. You don't know Jake.
Mm.
Alright. I push the door open with my hand that doesn't have a broken thumb, annoyedly.
Now that there is no handle and nothing to stop it from moving gently, the door slides open, leading into a small corridored hallway. Do you go in?
Okay. Yes. Make love on my
Mifflin's gonna
shoulder.
be on her shoulder.
For the first time in a while, your eyes get to relax as the rainbow color of the disco-like lights inside there fades as you step into the hallway, leading to regular candlelight. The candles illuminate the hall as you walk inwards, and the door closes automatically behind you. Before... Give me 1 second. Okay. Before, as the door closes behind Ismara and Mifflin, you stand there and feel a sudden slam against you as Jake, with both fists, hits you both in the side in a surprised attack, clocking you in the side of the temple for, let's see, that is 17 damage each. As Jake, you see Mifflin and Ismara suddenly turn towards you. Mifflin's glaive hitting you with the blunt end of it, dealing 17 damage, and Ismara charges you. You quickly dodge out of the way as her horns hit the wall. You all suddenly see your friend's forms bubble backwards like a polyjuice potion into a formless gray silhouette. Everybody roll me a history check.
19.
15?
I'm not very smart, but I got an 18.
You all are familiar with
That's
creatures.
19.
You all are familiar with creatures that have this ability. You seem to have been tricked by doppelgangers mimicking your friends from the other side of the wall, as Jake seemed to have jumped right or into the eastern room, while Ismara and Mifflin jumped to the western room, where this room had split down the center. Jake, there are now 2 doppelgangers with you in a small hallway with a door on the far end of it and the door that you came in through. Ismara and Mifflin now stand next to a doppelganger with a similar hallway. I did describe Mifflin attacking the room with the western door, except for Jake, it was the eastern door. But as that seems like a decent place to pause before we come back for combat, it is 8:03. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back at 8:10, 7-minute break. We'll see you all very, very soon and very, very spookily. BRB. Welcome back, Potter. As did my nose up one more time because I'm only going to leave it for a little bit. But to recap what all's happened, Jackie died. That's why she's not here. So she's Ghost Jackie now. So for a brief recap, so everybody knows where we're at, besides the whole intro, but for what just happened, the group walked into the mirrored room. A big column or split in the room went up. Everybody jumped out of the way. Jake jumped to one side, Mifflin and Ismara jumped to the other, and when they jumped and out of the ground, when the thing came up, a couple doppelgangers were there mimicking them, though they didn't know that, because nobody rolled mega high on perception. So as they jumped outwards, or actually nobody rolled, we just rolled for dodging. As they jumped, the doppelgangers were mimicking what was happening on the other side of the wall, so everything that Mifflin was doing, breaking the glass, all the doppelgangers were doing that as well. As soon as they left, they went down to they exited the doors, and now there's hallways. Each of these hallways are 40 feet long, where as soon as they entered the hallway, Ismara and Mifflin were assaulted by one doppelganger, and Jake has been assaulted by 2 doppelgangers mimicking Ismara and Mifflin. Verity's also got it covered, so woo, thanks Verity. So currently, Jake is in a hallway with a door 40 feet to the north. Mifflin and Ismara are also in a hallway with a door 40 feet to the north. One doppelganger with Mifflin and Ismara, 2 doppelgangers with Jake. Everybody should be good. They're about 50 feet away from each other because they're on both sides of this mirrored room that came in, and I am done being Voldemort now. Ow. God, that hurt.
Take out the nose hairs.
Because Voldemort can't see, so now I'm Study Mort, or I'm Baker Mort. So
Me, I'm gonna make some brownies.
a vodka avocado toast, as Jackie, glad to have you back. Right. So we're gonna continue right where we left off. Jake was slammed by one of the doppelgangers. I rolled actually really, really low. They all had 2 attacks each, but missed with 3 of them. Only 1 hit Jake, which is very good because he's currently alone. And then 1 hit both Ismara and Mifflin. It was very, very high. So didn't need ACs for those. They were all just very, very low and then very high. So let's go ahead. I'm going to need everybody to roll initiative. Actually, y'all roll initiative just to see who we're going to go through first.
18.
23.
What's my initiative plus? Plus 1? It's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Be menagerie to dice.
Perfect. Jake, since you got higher, it's going to go you, then your doppelganger, and then Ismara, Mifflin, and their doppelgangers. So, Jake, you see your 2 drinking buddies, for lack of a better term, suddenly morph into these gray silhouetted forms of humans, standing near 6.5 feet tall now, the Mifflin one growing immensely, as they slam against you and try and rush at you to kill you. What are you doing?
I look them dead in the eyes. Don't you know who I am? I am the master of fright and the demon of light. Next time you see guts, it will be your own. And I cast fear.
Ooh.
Wisdom 15 save, please.
Wisdom 15.
Both.
They only have a +1. One of them makes it with a 19. The other fails it with a 9.
All right, so he has to drop everything he's holding and become frightened for the duration, which is as I'm concentrating at the moment.
As the one holding
And make a
Mifflin's
dash
fake
away.
glaive drops it. You're currently between them and the long hallway door. They're close to the door that they just came from. So you see, in a moment of fear, this doppelganger goes through nearly 100 different visages of other people. Its arms, legs, face shifting in an instant as it runs and flings open the door that you just came from, running back into the mirrored room, afraid of what's just happened here, where the other one still bears ready with an expressionless mask of a face as its fists drawn ready to charge you. Anything else you're doing?
Am I within
You are next to
melee
them, so they
range?
could make an attack of opportunity. It won't be as strong since they didn't surprise you now. They surprised you that last time because you weren't expecting them, but now it'll just be a regular attack.
No, that's fine. I'll wait till they attack.
Okay. Then it will go to one of their turn. The other one runs out into the mirrored room. You see the rainbow lights immediately flicker on before the door closes behind it. Now you are just in a room with one doppelganger, which...
And before you check your roll,
Yep.
I'm going to use cutting words.
Ooh, okay.
Roses are red, violets are blue. There is always someone who's better than you. Subtract a d8 from your roll.
Ooh, okie dokie. What is your AC, my friend?
16.
Okay. So as he goes to hit you with the right hook, you command him with fear to drop it before he breathes out a heavy sigh before reaching up with the left hand to slap you hard with the second attack. But no, yeah, the first one misses. And the second one is a nat 1, so as it goes to swipe against you, it's still kind of scared, and it almost tries to scare you back as it slams heavily against the wooden wall on the side, but misses.
Only one of us, the kings, are scaring.
As we're going to go to Mifflin and Ismara. Mifflin, you got first as you're standing there next to the doppelganger and Ismara.
Mifflin, you see a little smirk on Mifflin's face, if you could see Mifflin's face. Mifflin, as Mifflin's gonna rage. As a bonus action.
Do it.
And as I rage, something interesting is about to happen. Rolling on the magic table. That's a 5. Whenever a creature hits me with an attack roll before my rage ends, that creature takes 1d6 force damage as magic flashes out in retribution.
Your
Um,
fairy-like wings immediately burst outwards in a fit of rainbow colors, protecting your body with force damage as you pull the glaive back, or the spiritual weapon readies itself.
and gonna go in at least 10 feet away and flail twice, Jack.
It is going to make an attack of opportunity as you make a step away. Does a 16 hit? What's your AC?
14.
It does hit. Ishmara, what's yours, by the way?
12.
12. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, it does connect, this time only doing 7 damage as it slams against you. Nearly knocking you against the wall, sending you back the way you wanted to go as you're now 10 feet away and can make your attack.
Perfect. All right, first one's going to be an 18 to hit. The
18 does hit.
second Is going to be 21 to hit.
Both hit.
All right. Boom and a boom. All right, first hit is going to be 9 plus 3, so 12
Okay.
slashing. And then the second, sorry, it's hard to read in this lighting, is going to be an additional 8 slashing.
Okay, 20 total.
And it did hit me, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah, so it also is
1d6.
going to take a d6.
It takes 3 force damage.
23. As it slams against you, the propulsion of force sends you backwards and a massive bruise into its hand. As then the glaive comes down, wants into its shoulder, cutting deep as a black sludge begins to pour out of the side of it. Your glaive pulls backwards and stabs inward into the rib cage of this creature, causing it to bleed profusely. Perfect. Ishmara, what's your turn?
Alright, I get within 5 feet. However, how much movement does that take?
You are standing next to it.
Perfect. Roll to hit for my first attack. Oh, that is an 14 on 14, A14.
14 just hits, actually.
Woo! For that one, 6 points of piercing.
Okay.
Roll for my second attack, sorry. That's a 7.
7 does not hit. What are you attacking with?
A spear.
Spear. As you pull out your spear from the side, you, with the glaive overhead stabbing downwards, you jab the spear into the gut of this creature. A solid hit, though, as it changes shapes, it immediately moves its form out and away from your spear for the second attack. It's not doing particularly great.
Okay, I think that is all I can do.
Okay. It's going to go to its turn now, and since you're the closest thing to it, it is going to attack you with 2 slam attacks. Come on and slam. And welcome to the jam. Your AC is 12 right now?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So that is 2 hits. It basically takes both of its hands and claps them against the side of your temples, dealing a total of 14 damage combined. So 14 total.
I'm down.
Ooh, no fun. Minotaur down so quickly. As it's going to go to Jake's turn. Jake, one of the doppelgangers has left and gone into the mirrored room. The other one is still here facing you. What are you doing?
I am going to tell it a joke.
Okay. I think I know what's happening.
So I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter. And I go, wait, don't you know why our graveyard's so noisy? Because of all the coffin. Cast.
What's the save?
15 wisdom. Pretty much everything's 15 wisdom.
Oh, natty 1. So, as it looks at you, it turns, its face mimicking Ob Burnham that you saw before, and it just giggles at a cackling, hideous laughter, as it seems to be able to uncontrol itself, losing so much wind from its lungs. It takes how much damage?
no damage. It falls prone for the duration.
Ah, I was thinking of a different thing.
And at the end of the turn, each turn or each time it takes damage, it can make another saving throw.
Perfect. I was thinking vicious mockery. As it falls down,
No.
giggling. The other one is going to make saves.
I'm a
see if
funny
it's still
guy.
Afraid. Still afraid. You currently hear the laughing of the doppelganger on the floor. And the doorway that you came from, and then 40 feet away is the doorway at the end of the hall.
I start walking towards my party.
Perfect. Let's go back to Mifflin and Ismara then, since those doppelgangers are currently busy. Mifflin, you see your Minotaur drinking buddy having fallen to the ground after quite literally being clapped by this doppelganger of Jake.
Mm. There's no words that comes out of Mifflin's mouth. Instead, just gurgles of candy. As Mifflin goes for 2 strikes.
I imagine 2 vampiric fangs of candy corn.
Yeah. First one is going to be a 20 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Second one is alright. Going to be a 22 to hit.
Definitely hits.
And as a bonus action, after hitting the first 2, gonna take the glaive and use the back end, which is bludgeoning damage.
Are you going to
And
move closer?
pop it
Because the
up.
back end has to be 5 feet.
Does it?
It does.
With the polearm master?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my 10 feet.
Cool. All right.
Keep it
Going for the 2 slices.
Okay. First one is going to be 13 damage.
Okay.
Second one is going to be 10.
Literally exactly what you need. As the glaive, seeing your drinking buddy fall, you're enveloped in a primal candied rage as you take the glaive and slice the head of the doppelganger off before you see it shape-shifting into hundreds of different forms in a near instant and stab the glaive into the brain of the creature, causing it to no longer be able to shift as it returns to its doppelganger form and blood pours out on the floor. As you see your friend currently dying on the ground. What are you doing?
Use my movement to get in between the doppelganger and her.
Well, the doppelganger's
there.
definitely dead.
Oh, well, if that's the case, I'm not proficient in it, but can I try a medicine?
Absolutely, you could try. Before that happens, Ismara, roll me a death saving throw.
Of course.
Of course.
I'm not proficient, and I also have a +0.
14.
1 save.
Nope. I rolled a 3.
You see her dying, and you're not sure how to fix a clock to the dome, being the main.
Try shoving candy in her mouth, which just makes it worse.
You see blood beginning to pour out of Ismara's ear as you start just absolutely throwing honey snacks inside her mouth, trying to get her to chew on something. But as it just kind of spits it out, Ismara, since Mifflin has no way to save you, let's go ahead and do another death saving throw. Remember, you do have inspos.
Sure. That's a 15 anyways.
Another pass. Give me another one.
Well, I got there before the third one.
Oh, wow. Oh, there she goes.
We'll come to you in just a second, Jake. You get your inspo for your pupper.
Cool, I need to use that inspo because I rolled a 5.
Good call.
I rolled another 5. I'm using another inspo. Good thing I had a cute outfit today. Okay, now this 3. Okay.
Well, so that'll be 1 fail because you can only use 1 inspo per. But you got 2 passes and 1 fail, and you have, I think, 3 inspos left. So give me another roll.
I do. Cool, 12. No, that's
a
17.
pass.
Not-
Oh, even
Okay.
even better. As Mifflin, you're trying to like resuscitate her with candy in your raged shape before Ismara. Eventually, you just kind of and you grab Mifflin as you regain consciousness and spit out the candy that Mifflin had been trying to resuscitate you with and pull him away from your face.
Okay. God, I like choke a little bit. Okay, thank you. I just poop you up in the back. Okay. I
As
drop you somewhere else.
Mifflin, you fall like Tinkerbell on your butt onto the ground with your glaive for a moment. As Jake, you run to the other end, hearing the cackling doppelgangers behind. There's a door at the end of the hallway. Do you try and open it?
Oh, so I can't actually see the party.
No. They're
Oh, gotcha.
they're on the
It's
completely
we're
different
separated by the
hallway.
middle thing.
Yeah.
Got you. Yep. I'll go in the door.
Okay. You go to the door and you jiggle the handle. It opens, no problem. As you open forward, you now see exactly what you saw from the very beginning of the house. A foyer in the center, this time immaculately made, well kept, well maintained, exactly what you saw when it was in the blue light, though it is illuminated in just a regular candlelight. As you walk into this room, you notice that there's another door mimicking your door on the very far side of the south side of this wall. Probably, you would imagine with the mirrors, to be another hallway just like the one that you came from. What are you doing?
I am going to head that way. As I do, I am going to cast a minor illusion.
Okay.
That's of me. In the opposite, that's standing in the opposite direction of where the door is. I'm going to walk over to the door. Oh, run over to the door. Yeah, walk, I guess.
Okay.
Can't run if I've cast a spell.
As you walk over, you place a minor illusion of yourself at the base of the stairs from what you saw in the very first foyer room. Again, this room no longer filled with any sort of red light, regular candle light, and stairs that lead up to a second story. You're now on the, you came out of the right side door and have moved over towards the left side door from this hallway on the south wall. Your illusion now stands at the base of the stairs looking upwards and around as you go to the door. Do you open your mirrored form of a door?
Do.
Ismira and Mifflin,
What's in here? What's in here?
doppelgangered version of Jake that you saw fall before you, now lies dead. You hear a door jiggle and open at the end of your hallway and see another Jake standing at the very end of the hall.
It is me! It is me! Am I driving you batty?
Flying at him with the glaive.
Got it.
Jake, do you go all the way in and like close the door, or are you just standing there at the entrance to the door?
I'll head in and close the door.
Okay. You do close it behind you. You see Mifflin flying toward you with a glaive. As you attempt to pun your way out of the situation, Mifflin, you hear Jake's pun. As Jake, you see a corpse of one of the doppelgangers, just like you saw in the other hallway there, right next to Ismara, who is injured and down on the floor. Okay, with no...
Am I dodging? I mean,
I
is
don't
this
know,
an
are
actual
you?
attack coming in? I will try to step out of the way for sure.
Okay. We'll just have you roll a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. 1 step, 2 step. Jakey's over here. 17.
17. Mifflin, go ahead and roll an attack.
That's 19 plus 6.
19 plus 6. Jake, as you
25.
sidestep Mifflin, you go to slice with the glaive, but Jake does sidestep you, so the glaive does miss. However, you're going at such a speed. Your tiny body is like Ant-Man, very condensed and very powerful as you slam into Jake. So Jake, you do take 4 bludgeoning damage as Mifflin slams into you with his pixie-like body, as if someone took a very hard baseball or softball and threw it and hit you right in the shoulder.
Small buttons.
Mifflin, as you hit Jake, you notice that he doesn't change or look anything like the doppelganger you saw before.
Did you miss me that much?
I'm gonna still punch him. Just one, like, nothing to like damage, but just like, meh. Get my glaive out of the door and fly back over.
Interesting
You got
reaction.
any healing?
Healing?
Yeah, he almost died.
Well, that's not good.
The candy brought me back. Oh.
You know, I heard about dying. It's especially when it comes to autopsies. They're a dying practice.
Is
Can I
Mara.
heal him?
As you sit there next to the corpse of the doppelganger, as they're talking, you not only hear them talking, but you hear footsteps on wood coming from the door behind them. They're busy in conversation, but you're kind of focused as you're getting up off of the ground. You can hear footsteps that are not on your own coming from outside the door that Jake just came through.
Wait, sorry, I think I misunderstood. So when I come back, do I have 0 health unconscious or my 1 health
One health.
unconscious?
1 health. You're good.
1 health.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, I misunderstood. So I'm getting up. And I'm like, okay, really puns, right? Okay, shut the fuck, shut up, shut up, shut up! Listen!
Listening.
Footsteps.
Oh, there's 2 more coming.
Yes. Yes. And I like get up. Oh, and I forget my thumb's broken and I fall back down a little bit because I tried to get up, putting my hands on my knees. Okay. We should go. I don't know how much more of this I could take. I feel a little drunk now. I think being this close to death makes me feel a little bit dumb.
How much space is above the door?
So there's not much above, but there's about a 2-inch gap below the bottom of the door, if you'd like to try and look or crawl under.
No. It was more of Mifflin wanting to get like above the door and have the glaive ready in case someone comes through.
Oh, I thought you meant like a hole in the top. Yes, I mean there's about a foot between the door and the actual top of the ceiling.
Mifflin's just gonna be flying right above the door with the glaive at the ready, just to like swipe down. So like, imagine here's the door, the glaive sticking out like that, ready to just come down.
Got it, like pendulum style. Since Jake and Ismara are currently at the end, with Mifflin flying upwards, readying an attack, Jake and Ismara, roll me a perception check.
22.
22. Ismara, as you walk up next to the door, you can hear more footsteps seemingly walking away. You hear whispered voices again on the other side of the door, but you can't quite make out what they're saying. It seems to be 3 voices in total. 2... Wait, no. That sounds a bit like your voice. And then you hear the unmistakable sound of Mifflin's voice on the other end of the hall. And a deep male voice.
Guys. They stole our faces and now they stole our voices?
I mean, to be fair, I understand why they'd steal my
I'm gonna smack him. I'm gonna smack him real good.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't feel the best right now. I don't know how much help I could be anymore.
You just stay there. Give me candy. We'll be all right.
Okay. Oh, it's with my bad hand. I'm gonna try my best.
You're just like picking it up with your 2 fingers. Just like.
Yeah.
Jake, what are you doing during this time?
I'm gonna step back and let my party
Handle?
play this out.
Okay. As Mifflin...
Right before the door opens, if it does open, Mifflin's gonna rage again.
Okay. Mifflin, you sit pendulum ready at the top of the door for anything that could possibly walk through. Ismara, you stand with the spear in your offhand, and Jake, you stand on a nearby wall, waiting for anything to possibly come through this door. You wait. You wait. And you wait. For several minutes to pass before you no longer hear the voices, you no longer hear any footsteps on the other side of the door. As you sit in the quiet of the creaking, moaning old house. What are we doing?
Well, what?
I don't know. Hello?
Open the door.
And
Get out.
Mifflin
Let's
starts smacking the door and she's like, hello!
Do you knock heavily?
Yeah.
Okay. As you hit the door,
But
this one
still
does.
holding position.
This one does not sound like stone like before. This one is a wooden door that you're banging a metal glaive on. You're certain that it's making quite a loud sound. But no one seems to come to answer the door.
You there with the bones and such? You open the door, you ain't done nothing. You do it.
Jake has decided to leave the party alone, letting them die if needed.
You there with the bones and such? You open the door. And I'll smack anyone that comes through. You with the bones. Bone man. Yeah, you. Yeah, with the pumpkins and such. Yeah. Jake.
Oh, you're muted, by the way.
You appear to have a silent spell on you.
Who are you talking to?
You. I ain't
What's
talking
up?
to you for the last 2 minutes.
Oh, is that what that chattering was? Got it.
Ah!
What do you need, little one?
Open the door.
You want to open the door?
No, I want you to open the door.
You want me to open that door?
I'm gonna kill him. I'll kill him on him.
Okay, just for you, little one. And I walk over and I walk backwards while I'm opening the door as well, so I'm not at the front of the door.
Okay.
I'm just keeping the pendulum up. If something walks through, I'm not protecting him.
Jake, as you slowly open the door, you see the foyer as it was before. Just like how you walked in, except this time not old and dilapidated. A big white staircase with a red rug going down the main part of the staircase. Candles lit, illuminating the room, and this time, another figure standing at the top of the stairs. It looks to be Ayazend, though form much more shapely than it was before. Quite literally more meat on her bones, where she once looked near skeletal and skinny, old and decrepit like a hag. This one looks to be a regular woman, if there were to be such a description. Bright, flowing crimson hair, still covering her face as she sits in inanimate state. Doesn't seem to react as you still stand inside the hallway.
Okay. Ooh, pass without a trace. Oh, that's probably down because I got downed. Never
Yeah.
mind.
No worries. What are we
Let's
doing?
just get out the way we came. The way we came, right?
Ismira. Sorry, you don't look the best, and I just touch her and cast a cure light wounds.
As Jake does so, the healing of the wounds not only emanates outwards, it's almost the words of Jake saying, "Hey, you're gonna be okay." Those seem to very much heal you. You feel reassured, so much so you look down at your thumb while you're kind of saying, "Yeah, okay." You accidentally pop your thumb, but it hurts for a moment before it seems to almost mend the bones in your hand. You regain the strength bonus and no longer at a -4. As well as heal for how much?
10.
10 hit points.
Oh man. Oh, thanks, Jake. Yeah, I needed that. Oh, I needed that. Thank you.
If I can put some pep in your step, I will.
Okay. Thank you.
You all still stand in the hallway, looking inward at the figure at the top of the staircase.
Oh, you! Why you got the things trying to kill us?
Oh my god.
It doesn't seem to respond, just like before when you hadn't walked into the precipice of the doorway. Doesn't really notice that you're there.
Do your fairy trick again, little one.
I can't. It's only when I sneeze.
Oh, I can salt you some pepper.
I'm going to kill you. You see how this glaive is perfectly positioned right above your head? It's going to come down and it's going to smack you.
How's that gonna make you sneeze?
It's going to make me feel better. And then Mifflin just like does a weird like whoop through the open door onto the other side.
As you
Oh, yeah!
slide up, as soon as you enter into the other side of the room, just like before, Ayazen seems to spring open with life. She's taking a breath, says, "Guests! Welcome, guests. It is so good
Oh,
to s-"
no, you stop it there. You got stuff trying to kill us.
What?
You have things that tried to kill us.
Whatever are you talking about? This is the mayor's
I
manor.
just tried to say it the clearest I could. You have things trying.
I understand what you're saying. It's not that I cannot understand you. At this time, Mifflin has gone in. Ismara and Jake, are you still back in the hallway?
I figured we were
No.
probably walking in while that was all happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
As the two of you walk in, the door, just like the others, is kind of heavy. It eventually closes behind you. She says, "I have nothing that's trying to kill. Is this a Hallows End prank? Are you pranking me? However did you get yourself so small, young man? So handsome, too, while being so small."
Freak out.
Well, good. This is a party. One should freak out. We already have so many guests in the dining room. Why don't you come in? Have yourself a snack. Could I take your coat? I love your costume. What are you, some sort of bovine?
I just don't respond.
I'm sorry. Have I offended you, sir? I like your costume as well.
Why, thank you.
Well, could I get your coats, your costume weaponry, any costume jewelry that you don't want to deal with right now? I can. She moves over to the same doorway that she did before as she opens it, now lined with costumes of various heroes and figures, kings, queens, bards, soldiers of old seem to line this costume cabinet. She said, "I even have some in here for those who didn't bring a costume, but you seem to have come well dressed."
I know it's a bit uncouth to ask for, but you wouldn't have a medic on the premise, would you?
Oh, of course. Are you injured? Or a costume medic or an actual medic?
An actual, my friend here may have experienced a bit of... They fell when they were coming up the stairs.
It's not what happened when things trying to kill us.
He
Sir,
plays such a good character, doesn't he?
yes, there's a time and place for role-playing, however, though. If you're hurt, please come with me. Come right through the kitchens. We have a doctor who lives here on the premises. The mayor keeps him on staff, so just follow me. Whoever's injured, just come. We will tend to your costumes afterwards. That is the least of your worries. She moves over to the eastern door. As she opens it, it is immediately filled with the lively sounds of a party. There must be several dozen people in here, sitting and eating and feasting on candies, honeyed hams, everything that you could possibly want for a Hallows feast. Goblets full of red wine or drinks dyed red to mimic that of blood. Some of them even with fake teeth covered their faces in blood, mimicking that of the vampire menace here. That seems to be a pretty popular costume this year. As she says, "Come, follow me," and she begins walking by, you see several of their servants walking around with silvered platters, all of them with makeup adorned to have giant scars across their face as if they were in some sort of bloody battle and are risen and done dead as they bring out several ghoulish treats, Turkish delights made to look like bits of human flesh as they go past them out, but people are eating and gobbling these candies up readily. As you walk in, so many people stop and ooh and ah at Ismar's amazing bovine costume as you are walked and ushered over towards the servants' door. Do you all follow?
After you, my lady?
She is walking, saying, "Come, please."
Oh, I was actually talking to our bovine companion.
Gotcha.
I guess. I'm a Minotaur. I told you this already.
Forgive me, my memory must have faded. Do I know? I don't know who you are under the costume, and I don't remember you ever.
It's not a costume. He's a minotaur.
Sir, there's
I'm a fairy.
yes, yes, and I am the Great Witch. But there's a time for role playing, and now is not it. You're hurt, ma'am, and I want to help you. So please let me do so.
Okay, fine.
As she begins walking, with everybody in tow to follow, unless telling me otherwise. As she goes over to the servant's door, she speaks to one servant in a whispered tone before he turns and says, "Right away, ma'am," before running off through the doors, and she follows. She says, "He's going to get the doctor now." As she walks in through the servant's door, holds the door open behind you. There's several inside cooking, chopping up meat, preparing veal and other delicacies that can be cooked quite rare for this hallowed end feast. Do you all come into the servants' room?
Yes.
For sure.
As you walk in, the servant looks at the final keg on the end and pulls off the keg's stop. You can see it was a fake hollowed out keg. There's a key on the inside of it. As he goes over to the door and unlocks the door on the other side, flinging it wide open and slipping the key back into the keg's position. He says, "I will go get the doctor, ma'am," before running inside. As the door opens, Ayazend, in her full form, walks through and says, "Come, please sit yourself on his table here." There's a immaculate white table in the very center of the room. On the side of the wall, there are all sorts of surgeon's tools, very fine saws used for bone if necessary, bags of various bloods and vials of different healing tonics. The whole room smells kind of like licorice as you walk in. She says, "Come, whoever's hurt, just sit on the table. The doctor will be in shortly, I'm sure. I must go tend to my husband. If you are fine here, I will just leave you for a moment. Please return to the party whenever you feel well. I hope that this isn't too grave of an injury."
Thank you, milady. Carve out some fun when you're out there.
"I shall. I think you were the last guests to arrive. That should fill up the entirety of the dining hall, so I will see you in but a moment." Before
Mifflin is literally like beat red in the face, like is about to go on a murder spree.
Yes, as she walks out the door behind. Everybody roll me a perception check while you're in this room.
Okay. Well,
14.
4.
19.
4 and 19. As you're in this room, you notice all of the medical instruments before, and one door where that servant went off through to fetch the doctor. The door that you came through, Mifflin, you hear a click as if the door has been locked.
Yeah, Mifflin's immediately going over to the door with the glaive.
Do you go and slam on the door and try and break it down?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. As you slam into the wooden door, go ahead and roll me for some damage.
I'm gonna hit it twice. So first one's going to be 9 and then 7.
Okay. You carved 2 large gouges into the side of this door. This is not a reinforced door at all. This door is purely meant to keep doctor things away from servant things as needed. As you slice into the door the first time, you hear a sudden bunch of gasps coming from the servants inside as they now see what's happening. The next glaive strikes and slams into the wood, carving out a huge section, bursting the door open. Suddenly, the servants' quarters are filled with screams. Ismara, like a click in memory. Mifflin, the same as you. You hear those same screams that you heard coming from the other side of the door previously. You hear an almost exact version of them as they begin trying to run themselves out from the door, tripping over each other, some of them cutting themselves on their cutlery as they drop it, trying to get out.
Can I cast a spell while this is happening?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's okay, everyone. It's okay. It really is. This anger is all the rage. And I cast Enthrall.
Okay.
DC Wisdom 15, which seems to be the ongoing thing with everything I do.
Okay, give me 1 second. Do. Okay, yeah, so there's going to be about 5 servants in here causing this horrid screaming, just like what we had heard before. So I need 15 saving throws on there. Give me 1 second. Okay, as 3 of them fail, 2 of them immediately calm down. The other 3 continue screaming, and as they run out of the room, their screaming is met by continued screaming, as what is explained into the dining hall is slowly starts to echo out as you hear screams pop off further and further, people afraid for their lives. But the other 2 look at you and say, "Was this some sort of Hallow's End? Frank, what are you doing?"
You know it. Look, there's nothing else.
Uh-oh.
It's Mifflin
Concentrate on me. I
attacking
don't see
Dorothy
anything else
one
anymore.
time.
Hold on.
Did I
Okay.
go?
Yeah, you
blank?
paused for just a moment.
Great. So with enthralled, they can't see anyone else. Pretty much just me. Yeah, it was just an illusion. It's a party trick, you see. And then I puff open a fake flame with minor illusion on my hands.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion at advantage since you were enthralling them.
Well, I am built for persuasion. So that's 24.
24. As these creatures look toward you, they say, "You gave us quite the fright. You
I
should've-
know, didn't I?
I thought there was a fairy and some sort of walking cow creature. But the door.
You'll remember this for a while, won't you?
Yes. Was this Ayazen's doing? Did she put you up to this?
Who else would it do it?
Never. Never one to shy away from paying the coin. Go out there and tell the guests that this is nothing to be afraid of. The other one says, "Yes, of course." She says, "No, I'll help you. I seem to hear quite a commotion." Very, very well done. Very well done.
Thank you.
As the 2 with aprons covered in blood from the animals they were slaughtering walk out from the kitchen to calm everyone down, which you're not sure how good that'll work based on their attire, but it does stop them for a moment as the door swings closed.
I turn to Mifflin. Are you? Settle down.
And Mifflin's just gonna beat on the door more.
The
I'm
broken
locked.
door.
Yeah, I am locked in a room and I don't like it.
You're not locked in the room. The door's open.
Oh, gods! You turn to the side and see that servant that you saw before, as well as a surgeon dressed entirely in what can be described as stereotypical, like the French maid cleaning style from head to toe. He himself is very like Clooney-esque, like silver-backed hair, very much a elf of great experience. As he walks inward and says, "Oh, gods! Oh, your Minotaur costume gave me quite a fright. Very well done, might I add. I heard that someone is hurt in here. What happened to the door?"
We needed a new one.
You just see Mifflin on the floor, just.
The servant that you saw before looks up and says, "Is Ayazen aware that you were to do this?"
I mean, look, we need to take care of healing first, or health first. It is a priority.
Of course, of course. Is it you that is harmed?
No,
Looking
no,
towards-
don't be daft. My friend here.
Oh, the Minotaur. You said it was some bovine. Do you not know the creatures of legend? Very well done with your costume. Please, take it off and I will assess the wound.
I cannot. I was magically infused with it as part of the illusion.
Role players. Very well then. Show me the wound and I'll see if I can treat it through the costume.
Yes, I guess a lot of the damage was from the doppelganger, so that was like a punch to the face, right?
Yeah, it was like you're bleeding
or
from
yeah,
your
something.
ears, basically.
Well, I moved my hair.
Oh,
he has to have you sit down, and he pulls over a stool to get up to your height to look into your ears. He says,
God, you even got the smell right, but I think I can fix it from here. What happened? You look like you went a few rounds in the tavern. Did you do that before coming?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Quite a lot of trauma in there. Well, let me see what I can do. Please, let me work. Just back away a bit. Crowding me.
to Jake and Mifflin.
Yeah, Mifflin, here, have some sweets. And I pop open and pull out a little brownie.
This is the first time Mifflin swats the sweets away. I want out of this place.
Well, go out into the dining hall. I don't need you in here.
No. I want out of this place.
So
Nothing makes
leave. You were
sense.
invited, not forced in.
Where is the door?
At the front of the house. Did you also suffer damage to the head? How did you get so small?
And Mifflin, picks up the glaive and flies out towards the front door.
I'll take care of him. You take care of her.
Jake,
I
do you
had-
follow?
Yes.
Yeah. So as you and Mifflin go out the swinging door, the doctor looks to Ismar and says,
I don't know your friends, but you seem to be in worse shape with your damage to your ears. Lay down on the table and let me see what I can do to help.
Okay.
he goes over to the side and finds a small needle, a swab, a Q-tip, and a syringe. So he comes over and says, does it, he kind of pokes you on the side of the ear, and it immediately hurts as he does so. He goes, does that hurt? Does that...
Oh, yeah. A little bit.
Worse than I thought. Right. You're going to feel a small amount of pressure, and then you'll feel a great amount of relief. This is a numbing agent. That
Okay.
will help make
Okay.
everything far easier.
Okay. All right, just go for it. Go for it.
He looks in and opens up the flap of your Minotaur ear, and we'll come back to that in a moment. Jake, Mifflin, as soon as you jump out into the dining room, you are almost immediately ran right into Aya's end, and she says, "Oh, good God, did... Ha 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 ha. I do not remember asking for bards in a circus. Did you destroy my door?"
Where?
It's all part of the act.
And Mifflin is now pointing the glaive at her. Where is the door out?
Jake, roll a persuasion at disadvantage with Mifflin being very aggressive.
Okay. All right, 17.
17.
7 plus 10.
Ooh, plus 10. Nice. As, it's fine. If you're not having a good time, you can leave the same door that you came in as the front door. Just leave. But why don't I just ask the mayor if he hired you all, if you're not willing to break character? I applaud you for that. I truly do. But there's a time and place for everything, gentlemen. Please, let me go speak to the mayor. He should be coming down any time. And we'll sort this whole thing out. But if you want to leave, then just leave through the front door. You've already given my guests a fright. And she takes a big breath as if having to put on a party persona for a moment. She says, which everybody was very excited for, right? As everyone, ha ha, ha 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 ha. So good. So glad that you scared us like that. The servants
Thank
also.
you. Thank you.
Let me check on him. But if you desire to leave, just go out the front door. Just leave.
Come on, Mifflin. Let's go check the front
Immediately
door.
the front door.
Okay. Mifflin and Jake, you walk back to that same doorway that you saw. There is the hallway, Jake, that you originally came from with the doppelgangers, and the hallway off that you came out of with Ismara and Mifflin, that she called one of the front doors. You going back out the front door? Or are you waiting there while she goes to fetch the mayor? Or
What are you
waiting
doing, little
for
one?
Ismara?
All I see are the two hallways, right?
Yeah, yeah. She walks up the stairs going to some room on the second floor. There's a big, great double door at the top of the stairs as she walks inwards.
Look, look,
Do
look,
you
look, Mifflin.
see a door? I don't see a door. What I see are two hallways. Do you see a way out? 'Cause I don't.
It's very easy. Take a deep breath while I tell you this very important part of life. Remember,
Swear to God, if you tell me a pun, I swear, I will stab you.
no, it's a way to open your mind. Just remember, a mosquito can fly, but a fly can't mosquito. You see? It's all relevant now. Remember, your resistance is only a person's sign of mistrust.
As Mifflin quite literally ponders whether he should just be a murderer or not. Ismara, you feel the numbing sensation from the needle. It is pressure at first, but then it kind of wafts over you. And as it enters your system, you feel your whole body just feel numb. You can still control everything just fine, but you feel it's like going to the dentist's office where now everything just feels like nothing over the entirety of your body. As he says, okay, well, just wait there for a second and I will get rid of the pain for you. That way, when this wears off, you shall have no pain.
Okay.
He seems to have poked some center of your brain through your ear, and you can't really understand what he's saying now. It just sounds like jumbled, almost like Charlie Brown parents. You just can't make out a single word that's coming out of his voice.
I'm sorry. I can't.
He tries to put you back and let
Oh,
you not sit up from
right.
the table.
Mm.
He snaps his
I-
finger at the servant.
Just I can't hear anything.
He looks at you like as if to say, "What are you saying?" The servant comes over as Graham's a small bone saw. He says, the servant goes over to the other side as he grabs a strap as if to strap you down to the table. He goes to tie you down with leather straps. Do you just let him?
No.
What are you doing?
Fine, I jump. I hit him with my horns.
Oh, you get up from the table and knock him down to the ground. The servant backs away, wanting nothing to do with this. As the doctor looks up at you, a blood-covered side of the head, as he holds his hand completely soaked in blood as you hit him. He yells out something with no language. You can't seem to understand what he's saying at all, but he looks at you sad and angry at the same time, as if to say, why would you hit him like this? He's trying to help as he holds up the saw, as he throws it on the ground angrily at you. As you stand now at the open end of the doorway, several servants behind, you turn and look. The servants in the kitchen all looking up at you as if to say, please don't hurt me. But none of them speaking words you can understand.
I run to find my friends.
As you rush out into the dining hall, your mind is absolutely racked by 50 people all screaming out at your appearance, blood having dribbled down your ear, you running out quite literally like a bull in a china shop here, filled with screams and words you don't understand. I need a sanity check. Can I have you roll on a wisdom saving throw?
Oh? That's a first. 6.
6. all of these people seem to point directly at you. Just the sheer anxiety of it all. Some of them laughing, thinking this is theatrics. Some of them quite scared at what's going on. Their voices almost echo louder and louder and louder. As Mifflin and Jake, you hear a great commotion of people yelling out, "Watch out, it's coming for us!" coming from the inside of the dining hall before Ismara, you burst through the doorway where Jake and Mifflin now sit at the bottom of the stairs, looking out towards the dining hall before all of the people suddenly stop and stare at you all.
Oh my god, she's gone utterly crazy.
I stand at the top of the stairs and I just yell this like.
You run to the top of the stairs?
Oh, was I not at the top? Sorry. I wasn't. I
No,
thought
so
I
they're
was.
not on the top. They're at the bottom of the stairs, but if you want to go up, go for it.
Oh, I thought I was like at the top of the stairs looking down on them. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah.
Wherever I end up being at, I just yell like from my, like a guttural, just ah!
As Ismara yells out, it doesn't even sound like a raw. It sounds incredibly like a bull's roar, Mifflin and Jake. As she roars, the lights in the room seem to fade before the flames disappear, and sheer darkness falls over you. You can only barely see the outline of Ismara as she goes towards you, Jake, and grabs you by the collar, seemingly no recognition in her eyes of you or Mifflin.
What are you doing? And I try to push back.
Ismara, you're pushed away by your friend. Even they don't seem to understand you.
Mifflin would totally go over to Ismara. And then once, like, on Ismara's shoulder, takes the glaive and points it, like, around, now being in the dark.
Protecting Ismara, she reaches up towards you, Jake, just hoping for some sort of recognition, somebody to speak. Even as Mifflin flies to your shoulder, Ismara, Mifflin says, "I got this, I got you," in very Cockney form. Though you can't understand what he's saying, you recognize the accent. Before, suddenly, a golden light emerges from the top of the stairs. The double doorways open. A bright, vast light fills the room. The Red Witch... Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just about to like punch Jake or something, but the familiar little fairy next to me gave me little welcome warmth that held me back.
Seem to attract these punches. I'm not sure why.
You do. The light enveloping the foyer. The Red Witch, Ayazend, walks outwards, in tow, with her hand grasped around a man in a very well-kempt suit, an almost tuxedo-like form, and a top hat. Something that you've seen before. A tall man, maybe 6, 7 feet tall. A long, scraggly beard as he tips his top hat to you. Ob Burnham, you recognize his face as he stands at the top of the stairs. He says, "Welcome. I'm so glad that you could make it to my party." Ismara, you can suddenly understand him. I hope that you had a good bit of fun. I know I did, personally. I think that you got your money's worth. What do you say?
If you don't let us out of this godforsaken house, I will flip my shit.
I think my wife here just told you. Walk out the door that you came from. Right there.
That's a hallway! That's not outside!
Is it? I don't remember putting a hallway in there.
I'm looking back through the door, and I swear to God if there's a hallway.
Do you open the door?
Mm-hmm.
You turn the handle and look through and see a porch with a stone walkway.
I am pulling Ismara by the other ear out the door.
I guess we bid you adieu. Good sir. I follow.
As Mifflin pulls Ismara and Jake follows closely in hand. Give me 1 second. And I need one more thing. I think it was this time. Right. As you walk through the door, your vision fades to a sudden, blinding white light, for it slowly fades out, and you return to the booth. Zinnia, Salt, team. At the Hallows End, before you went out to fight the Great Pumpkin Warriors before, one of the great attractions for the night, Ob Burnham, a carnival worker there at Hallows End, sits, playing his bardic illusion music. It says, "Now, I think that's worth a tip," as he holds his hat out, says, "I think you're very scared, and I think that is exactly what you wanted, and I hope that you had a good time."
Zinnia, give this man all my money. Zinnia, he has scared me shitless.
Look, the only tip you're getting is the end of this dagger, okay?
Whoa,
I have literal goosebumps. Look at them. I have scales and they are bumpy.
I told you what would happen. I think this is exactly what you paid for, right? I have already got your gold. I just think it would be worth a tip, personally. Don't worry. Your other friends are off having some buttered beer, but they didn't want to join. But you here, I think you had a good time.
I touch my ear and my thumb, like.
You feel
Am I
your
still-
cat-like paws and your whiskers. Everything is back to normal.
My tail sort of sticks up and
What?
points towards him, kind of looking at him.
Whoa,
I have.
I don't mean no trouble here. You asked for this. I told you there would be some memory problems here after you were done. I'm very, very good.
Salt, I told you. This is what happens. He tried to scare us. He scared us. This is good.
Good for you, maybe. Oh my god.
Oh, we paid for this.
You paid for this.
I thought it was good. I think you did good job. Very scary.
That was too amazing. Oh god, I forgot what my Zinnia. No, I think that's it. Wow, that was amazing. I forgot. Detached from reality, everything. It's like I was living a whole other person's life.
I told you,
It's
I
not how
am
we do it
quite
down
good.
under, though. That's the problem.
Oh, well, I don't play that didgeridoo that you requested. I don't even know what that is. I just have this guitar here.
Look, it's better than a didgeridoo don't, okay? But we won't go there.
Uh-huh.
I'm not familiar with that, but I'll make sure I go away from a didgeridoo and try a didgeridoo. Which, by the way, didgeridoo, as he holds the hat out, shaking the few coins that are in it.
Of course. Here. I give him a gold.
Thank you, ma'am. You're so very kind and generous. As he...
Of course.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh.
Atta, did you have fun? Did he scare you as well?
Oh my god, I didn't go in, but I wanted to, but he said that he's not really familiar with how to do pets, but he'll practice for next year when we come back.
It is okay, Atta. What we will do, I will scare you when we get back.
Okay, I'm excited for it.
As
Blah.
Gideon and Summer come back with bits of candied corn and cotton candy in hand, as Gideon says, "Oh, hello. You ready? We're supposed to go outside the wall and do some guarding, I think."
Anything to
will
get out of
stand
here.
by.
Let's do it.
Yes. Summer says, "It's going to be a while. We'll come back, but the guard said we got to go. So let's go chill outside the wall, and then we'll come back in later. Sound good?" Was it
All I have to...
it scary,
Nick-
Salt?
So, how about that local sports team?
Okay, I'll take that as a yes, as Gideon says. Oh, I'm not a fan of being scared, so I didn't think that that was for me, but I hope that you had fun, Team and Zinnia.
It was a blast. I have never had more fun.
I don't know if I'll ever have my mind that far blown again. I'm still in shock.
I mean, there are 3 different ways to blow minds in Down Under. I can show you if you'd like. Some of them hurt a little bit more, though.
Okay.
That's oh, right. It's so weird. I just like had. I thought you were gonna say something about a rolling pin, but I don't know where that came from. Maybe it's just residual from the.
Are you okay?
No, I'm still recovering.
We've got time. We can still make things worse, but let's go sit outside and let's chat. As that's where we're gonna stop it for tonight because we ended the story. So I hope you guys had a good Halloween time.
That was amazing.
I'm glad you liked it. Hope you had fun.
I got goosebumps.
That's
I got
so
to play
good.
team again.
I did too.
I hope that it was a fun time and a good callback to some old characters. What a perfect way, since you were playing Jake, to also have been Salt and unable to swap your personality at all.
It worked out really well.
That was a lot of
It's
fun
also
for me.
really nice how it was just team's inherent hatred of puns that showed through.
And Jackie, of course. Jackie's just a furry, you know, so she got to play her.
It's a minotaur, okay?
As always.
That was good. Good job, right? You know what? I for one, I don't know if you agree, Alex and Jackie, but I think Rybo should get an inspo that goes into the actual game next week.
I mean, we could go one further and give him one of those special inspos.
Oh.
You know, that like what you guys got previously, where it lasts all game.
I'm
I mean,
listening.
I'm
You know
game
what?
if you are.
I'm about it.
I am.
Let's make next episode freaking impossible.
We're already gonna die anyway.
I was gonna say,
We're all
y'all,
gonna
you sure you want it to be next episode?
It'll be fine.
Sure, what's the worst that can happen, right? It was all just a dream, and we're really only just salt demons in here anyway.
Yeah. We'll always just come back to this. Any more deaths?
Next time it's Brie and Jakey here, and they're like, "Whoa, they were right. It was, in fact, pretty crazy." Well, I will take it. I hope that you all had fun. I didn't know how long it was going to go. It was either going to go longer up until time or earlier. I don't want to force a thing that's fit a natural ending to go any longer. So I hope you guys had fun. Hope the viewers had a good time. I definitely want Brie and Jakey to watch this one just for the ending at some point. So don't spoil it for them, people. But I will try and get them to watch it sometime. So save it for the episode after Intober Chaos comes due. Ooh. So I didn't show all of the art, but y'all have been amazing on the Intober art. I'm going to show it for 2 weeks worth of art for the next time, and then we'll have the count too for who gets how many inspos, and you all can decide who gets what inspos. People could be getting a ton of magic items or losing a lot of fingers and toes next time. We'll see. So huge thank you to Drew, Alex, Jackie. Y'all came killing it with the costume. Mine was much more, I will put tape on my nose. So I hope that you all felt it was worth your time for doing the costume, because y'all killed it. Looked awesome. Thank you so much, guys, and thank you so much, viewers. Hope you all have a fantastic Halloween. Pumpsception. Spooky night, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Goodbye.